are back, and hopefully now that we've dropped Twitch, rest in peace. I guess we won't be needing Twitch chat either. This should be up and running. We are going to be building the U-Wing. I'm not going to repeat what we said about the trailer. I'll get into that as we're building this. Let's just make sure this is up, running and smooth, because it's taken us quite a few minutes now. I've probably been sat here for about half an hour trying to get this running. We are here, and that's what counts. So today, as you can see, we're going to be building the U-Wing. Finally, not only did it feel like forever at the start of the first stream, but now it feels like two forevers. It's doubly forever since I said about building this. Yes, we've had this for now the best of a week. It's only been sat in our possession for about a week. We must have unboxed this about last week, maybe last Friday, a week and a bit ago. But before we build the U-Wing, first off, let's have a bite of these cookies. These are delicious. Made some cookies earlier. Apologies for all the chewing on the mic, but we have an update for, not the U-Wing. That looks quite cool in the background, can't lie. We have an update for Grogu. For those of you that are aware, we're building a massive Grogu, and by massive, I mean the same scale as Rex. And Rex here, our boy Rex, is pretty massive. This is a Lego Big Fig, custom one, made with the official Rex helmet that does pull apart into legs, torso and a helmet. The neck joints just a little too hard to be pulling apart every time I show that off, but there we go. It acts like a minifigure. The legs move individually, they hold themselves up, so do the arms, and we had to bling out Rex with this Yoda watch, the old Lego Yoda watch. We're going to be building a Grogu that goes up to Rex's shoulders. That's a pretty tall Big Fig for Grogu, but it's not just Grogu, because we of course have to build, if we're building Grogu, we have to build Grogu's pram. So for the last week or so, I've been working on upscaling this Grogu minifigure right here with my custom Grogu hover pram, and so far we've got like half of the pieces for it. So there's Grogu. Let's make sure we're still running smoothly. Do we have the thumbs up? It does seem to be all good my end, but that means nothing as far as YouTube is concerned. Come on, what's gone wrong the last couple of days with these streams? We've struggled to get running. Once we're running, don't get me wrong, everything's fine, but we want a bit better than fine. We've got 3 streams up. We've only got 2 outputs. This is what's crashing the streams. Now Chrome's blocking the tabs. Can it do that? My lord, is that legal? Hello there, yes, we are back. I am very good. Despite the YouTube troubles, yes, very, very good. Can't wait to get into this U-Wing and finally crack it open. It's my first Andor minifigure in 8 years, because I never picked up the first set. Not officially, at least. So yeah, we're going live. That one's for sure. What do you mean end? No, I don't want to end stream. What do you mean? What? I don't want to end stream. I want to keep this going. I don't want to sabotage it. Let's have a look. Why do we have 3 of them going? Only 2 are necessary, right? Oh, this is the last one. No. This is the one. Hello there, Rex. Still haven't opened me 4th sets. No room. 1 more week. What happens in a week? So let's have a look. Which one? Yeah, let's put an end to that one. There we go. Cam looks better than the last stream. So yep, still using. I tell you what, I am running at OBS in administrator mode, but OBS, I might need to replace it. It's been mucking up. I've been trying to do some videos. Do I have an Anakin? I do. I tell you what, just for you, Rex, I'll bring my Anakin minifigures out in a second once we know what's going on. All right, 2 streams up and running. Was trying to stream to Twitch as well. OBS and Twitch are not getting along. Should I say Stream Elements, which is what I'm using to try and connect the both of them. Yeah, not going to London upcoming week for a holiday. Oh, anything planned whilst you're in London? Lot to do. There we go. Let's get rid of the 3rd stream. Get out of here. Everyone's on the 2 popular streams. Let's get those Anakin minifigures. And as far as May 4th sets, we do have the Slave one just below the desk that we're building at 10k subs. 8.6, what are we on right now? 8.6 something. 8,631. We were just on 20 something before I went live. Shout out to the new subscribers. We've got the Dark Falcon as well that I got for my birthday. Coming up to a month ago. Haven't built that yet, but we will be building that in about 2 weeks, I think it is, maybe a week and a half. We've got Soka's Eater. We've also got the gift we've purchased to crack open. Really excited for that. I live in the UK. Away from any Lego store, I'm afraid, which sucks. But yeah, here in the UK, which means, you know, as far as legal techniques for Lego being based in Denmark, overseas, I think we get away with some of them. That repo shot that's cruising up to 4 million views, the amount of people commenting about those illegal techniques. Is it really illegal? Is it really illegal? The fact that we've used some of the Lego elements in not great ways, but I don't think they were illegal. Let's get those Anakin minifigures. There we go. Not complete. Actually, which Vader am I missing? Am I missing like another holiday Vader? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you can tell me which Vader is missing from this stand of Anakin / Vader. I display them together. Hello there, Comics Will. Welcome, welcome. Yes, so this all good now? Stream all good? Everyone can see it. I'm going to take that as an all good. Anakins, I've got quite a few. Quite a few. We've got a little Anakin here, which does have a custom hairpiece. Are we able to get a good look at that? Come on, focus. The hard thing is with this camera that I'm using on the desk, I'm not able to get a great focus on it. But once it's set, it's good for the entire stream. My favorite episode of Star Wars is episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Big Attack of the Clones fan. I think it's also heavy Clone Wars bias. So, you know, if you're not a fan of the Clone Wars, I can completely accept the fact that Attack of the Clones might not be your favorite. Going to Clerkenwell. Oh, that is pretty cool. Lego store, of course. Of course, London Lego store has to be. And eating a lot of actual food compared to the Netherlands. Don't see any Annies missing. There's a few custom ones. What's not actual food in the Netherlands? Whereabouts in the UK? Live in Ipswich. Oh, not Ipswich. Not far out of London, around the Southend area. Which I wish there was a Lego store around here. I think Southend is a great place to have a Lego store, but yeah, maybe it's not too far away from the Stratford one. I think in terms of travel, the Stratford one is closest, so that's the easiest one to get to, even though there is one down in Bluewater, which we've been to. Episode 3, solid. I like all of the... You've got Duel of the Fates, you've got Battle of Geonosis, and you've got Order 66. Solid choices all around. Fake meat, watered down. Yeah, I know a load of big companies like watering down their products, but meat products? Watered down meat? I can see why you can grab yourself like a nice juicy burger or something in London. Sell at max weight. I guess so. As long as they tell you how much water's in the thing. So we've got an Anakin here from episode 1. Again, custom hairpiece. We've then got a gap here because I would like to create a Padawan Anakin. I've seen Padawan Anakin in a few comics. That would be cool. This is my custom Attack of the Clones Anakin. Not sure about that hairpiece. There's probably a better one somewhere. Big ass steak. Hell yeah. Loughborough have this massive Lego store. I gotta go around the UK and visit a ton of different Lego stores because we haven't got too many. This here was a custom Clone Wars. You might have seen a little bit of arm print in there. This ain't too shabby. Side of the leg printing all over that figure. Space for the one in Anakin Zeta. Then we've got the Duel on Mustafar with the Kenobi that came out a few years back. This right here, this is a Ninjago minifigure. Can't remember which character, but it is one of the Ninjago minifigures, perfect for Star Wars. If you love Star Wars, you've come definitely to the right place. Have a good time. Cheers. Yeah, good night. You can always catch this on demand on YouTube. And then we have our Darth Vaders. Technically, these two here are also Darth Vaders, but we have our transformation sort of burnt up Vader, burnt up Anakin. Then we have the one from Kenobi with the Anakin scratch face. We've got the newer Vader, which has the angry expression, which I quite like if they gave us a New Hope torso, Rogue One torso. Hello there, Moonshoes. We're finally live, finally on a stable stream as well. And then the Vader torso is actually accurate to Return of the Jedi and Return of the Jedi only. So we've gone with that happy face when Vader gets redeemed and gets to look upon his son with his own eyes. And we got the holiday special, the holiday sweater, and then the little sandy beach Vader from the 2022 Advent calendar. So we're going to fill this gap here with the Ahsoka Eater on the right hand side, but I'm still looking for a youngling Anakin, like a Jedi in training. I think we briefly see it at the end of episode 1 as well. So I do have the old style Vader helmet from the anniversary minifigure. I'd never got the original one. I'm probably old enough to have a few of them in my collection, to be honest, but I didn't get a load of Lego Star Wars. My first Lego Star Wars set and the entryway into this was 2008 with a Clone Walker Battle Pack. But there you go. Here's all of the anniversary minifigures in the front, and I've got a few of my classics from the... Is that the 2012? Maybe the 2012 Luke Landspeeder. We've seen a few of those, haven't we? And Force Ghost Anakin, that's the one. Yes, so Force Ghost Anakin, and also in the Dark Falcon, we've got the White Vader. I'm going to need a space for both of these, but in this set is amazing for many reasons. Not only do we get a Dark Falcon, which does look pretty cool, but the minifigure selection, chef's kiss, because this White Vader has the head covered. Underneath the White Vader, we get the head of the original Anakin Force Ghost. All right, follow me here. We've got the head of the old Anakin with this Vader. We already have a few Hayden Christensen heads, but I've got this custom Luke Force Ghost with translucent legs and a little light blue patterning all over, but it works as a pretty decent Force Ghost minifigure. Get the head from Vader, add it to this minifigure, get a custom or get a hairpiece that looks a bit more like the original Vader one, even get a Hayden Christensen head and hair, and then we've got Force Ghost for Vader. We can do Qui-Gon, we can do Kenobi. Yoda does not work with the long legs, but we can do all the other Force Ghosts, and then we just need to figure something out for Yoda. And it's also the final Luke minifigure that I'm going to be getting in this set as well. We've got Beach Luke, which completes all 28 Luke Skywalker minifigures. A few of them are custom that I've done myself. We've got like Crate Luke from the games. We've also got, at the end of Empire Strikes Back, Luke has the robes on. We haven't got a minifigure for that. So I have gone out of my way to make with, I think all the Lukes are official Lego parts. A lot of different torsos. The flashback in episode 9. What a flashback that was. But we've got Anakin's filling up, Luke's filling up. I think the real challenge when it comes to minifigures is someone like Leia, someone like Padme. Padme is seemingly impossible, but I'm sure there's a torso good enough for every single costume Padme wears. But before we get to the U-Wing, there is one thing I would like to do before we build this beauty, and it's to do with this little guy down here with Grogu. We've been building Grogu in a 1:6 scale. We've been building Grogu in a 1:6 scale, which is 216 times bigger than the minifigure. These are cookies. We made these earlier today. They've got some mini eggs in them and they are delicious. Although, mini eggs in a croissant, that also sounds like a good idea. So, we have Rex here, and Rex is at that same 216 times bigger than a minifigure, and is based off the giant figure from Lego. Kind of where I got inspiration from this. We've done this. We've also got a few other people have built bigger sets. Shout out to Minifigure Jez for that giant spaceship. I'm sure that provided some inspiration to exactly how I'm building some of these bricks. But inside Grogu's, I would give you a cookie, but I don't think I can pass it through the camera. These are honestly some of the best cookies I've had. The cross-section of Grogu's great croissant recipe. Brie, bacon and honey. Oh, that sounds like a great combination. Bacon, brie, you had me at that. Honey on top. Oh. The cross-section of Grogu has a snot brick holding everything together. So we went, of course, and built that snot brick in this giant massive scale. Let's like Grogu down there where you can still see him. And we didn't stop there. We are building this entire Grogu pram in this 1:6 scale. So most recently, you might have seen the video. We've got a 1x1 plate. We've got a 1x2 jumper. This is my favorite brick so far. This 1x2 jumper, definitely my favorite. And then we've got two of these 1x1 corner tiles, these quarter circle corner tiles. I'm going to recolor it all to tan. We were hoping for dark tan. Not all the pieces exist in every color. So we've gone with light tan, one of those for either side because this piece is present. So we've got all the colored pieces. The hardest piece and the piece I wanted to do next is this connection on the back. I mean, take a look at this. That clip connection is seemingly impossible. How are we going to go about doing that? Well, I have been working on it all day. I thought, while I had a few seconds, few minutes, a few hours before this stream, I would work out how we can go about building it, and I've cracked it. I have found exactly how we do it. Big mini kit. Funny you say that. Funny you say that. Because maybe we should build this with actual Lego bricks. But here we are. A big mini kit, not quite the same scale. This mini kit is actually a smaller scale than the bricks. It's quite easy to see. When you try and stack the studs, there is no way that is going in. So this is probably about 150 times bigger, this mini kit. But it's also 3D printed, kind of cheating. We're going to be 3D printing Grogu. So I guess they do kind of tie together. And let's just get to give us an extra little bit of time to work out how we're building Grogu in Lego. In an ideal world, we're going to get Grogu built in Lego bricks, but it might take a bit longer than building Captain Rex or the pram. So these are the bricks we've got so far. And I have been trying all day to get a clip and this 1x1 bar element with a 1x1 clip. Still need that green stud. That's a good point. I'll have to print that later on. Later on being tomorrow. Here we have the 1x1 plate with the bar. And it makes more sense when you take a look at the next piece and how they hold on. But I've gone with that 2x2 round brick to really hold it in there. This is going to be situated at the back. And we really need to build that slope at the back. I think I'll build two slopes. The one at the back, one at the front. Because as soon as we get this piece done, well, we've also got this piece done. And we're very close to getting this corner piece. So I feel like they're the next ones, a straightforward task to go with, but it's a 1x1 stud, very similar to the red one we built. And then we've got this bar on the end. So this piece does connect to the snot brick. No, it doesn't. this piece doesn't connect, but the next piece does connect. So we will be able to start building this once I reveal the 1x1 clip. Honestly, I think this is the best upscaled anything. You whack in all the minifigure scale ships as well. I think this is the best piece that I've built. What a hasty day. We've got here eventually. We are all here right now, and that's what matters, because if we take this 1x1 plate and we press down on this clip, there is not only a satisfying clip, but it also holds. It holds, and it is so near perfect. It doesn't rotate fully. It pops off about here at the corner, but that is the connection we need. It works. Look at that. It holds on, and then we've got this 1x1 snot brick. Are you ready? Let's connect this, and it works. Yes, it works. I haven't put this together yet, so seeing this coming together as nicely as it is so satisfying. We can then get the jumper on top. We've got that little gap there. It should overhang just a little bit, but because they're bigger, we can line them up. And instructions when Studio is being a right pain in some of our asses at the minute, so excuse the French, but Studio don't have round plates. They don't have ingots. Ingots aren't fast for this, but also 1x bricks are showing up as plates. So instructions are pending. As soon as we get the full thing built, I will release instructions for the pram and then instructions for Grogu, and I'll probably end up putting them out for free because it's a whole thing. I don't want this stream to be about that, but Rubrikable are up in their taxes. It's a bit harder to actually profit off instructions, so they'll probably be going out for free. I do show you in the first two videos how you can build this snot brick and this jumper and all the other tiles that I've shown off, which I think this 1x1 plate will go on top. This is becoming a game of how high we can stack them. And then with the 2x4 round brick, I think they go about there. So for now, we can connect them on here. We'll put that 2x2 round plate in when we've got it. But this is looking, and this can be built many different ways. This isn't just able to be built in the way Grogu's pram is. This is also able to be broken down, built into something else. But the fact that we've got this much of Grogu's pram built already, it's coming together so nicely, and I cannot wait. I really can't wait to see the finished build, especially with the little, well, not so little Grogu inside. I think 3D printing is nice, but when we can get that built in Lego, that is going to look absolutely awesome. Let's shrink myself down because we're going to need a bit more space than that when we're building the U-wing. Maybe not that much. Oh, there you go. Always move the camera, can't I? And that can show it off. But this is where we're at with Grogu's pram. Until next time, when I'm going to work on the slope. So next time we'll have that 1x2 rounded slope and then a giant slope in the middle. It's funny you say you don't like Duplo. I think Duplo's marketing is for kids, is for babies. You look at some of the themes that Duplo's had, like with Bluey, Peppa Pig. I think, I don't think I could be persuaded to pick up a Duplo set even when it's, even if it was Star Wars. I don't like saying that. I feel like I'd pick up anything if it was Star Wars and cheap enough, but I wouldn't pick up a Duplo Star Wars set. UCS Star Destroyer upscaled. We are building a minifigure scale Star Destroyer at 100k subs. I was thinking about upscaling a Lego set. It might have to be a little bigger than this, but upscaling an actual Lego set using this technique, using like Lego instructions as well, and making the ship minifigure scale, but just blowing up the scale of minifigures so that minifigure scale is also not, it's a bit complicated, but I think that could be fun, building like the UCS. I don't know if the UCS Star Destroyer, that's already like a meter long. That would be 6 meters. If that is a meter long, that would work. Maybe that's what we can do. UCS Star Destroyer or the UCS Venator. Isn't the UCS X-Wing upscaled what Lego did in 2013? I think that's exactly what Lego did. If I had a space like Brixies, every single month there'd be another UCS set built in there. All right. Oh, we can't get into the fun tabs. Oh no, it's a good thing I don't collect the boxes. I have completely screwed up this corner of the box. I tell you what, look, I've ripped the fun tab. Take a look at this. How have I done that? I've ripped straight through the fun tab. I've got some strength that even I didn't know about. We are checking for paper bags because this is ordered through Lego. All of these should be paper bags from now on, but you never know. You never know. I've seen a few people getting plastic bags. The grand reveal. Yes, we got paper bags, neatly stacked and everything. The only thing with paper bags, we've run into it one time. The only thing is the sticker sheet. Because the bags are paper, and it's not paper bags. Plastic bags had the same problem. But the sticker sheet for R2-D2 was folded in half. Lego sticker quality has improved a lot since 2008. I am okay, thanks. Oh, thanks for asking. How are we doing in chat? And the R2-D2 sticker sheet, not great, but I hate paper bags. When you're building C-3PO, there's always 2 or 3 bricks in the bags. Oh, left over. I tell you what, it might have been you that mentioned it when we were looking at R2-D2. I am checking extra hard that I'm not leaving any of these parts behind because of that. I think it's probably easier to some extent. Even in plastic bags, I was leaving a few pieces behind because they scrunch up at the corners. I feel like these are easier to flatten out, but then, yeah, you can't see through it. It also eliminates the chance to build them in a bag. Not a problem, you know, for these 6 bags. There's no way of building the U-Wing in one bag. But for the Falcon, Millennium Falcon poly bag, yeah, we can't build it in a bag. Do we get anything in this? I noticed in R2-D2, we don't get any facts with the buildable characters. I think we might have with BD, but not anymore. And I do have, just behind me, we managed to fit it on the shelf in the end, the old U-Wing as well. What is that? Yeah, I've got to make sure. Maybe we can use the instruction manuals to flatten it out, make sure we push all of the bricks through. But 6 bags. It's going to be a nice slow build today, I think. Let's get bag 1 open, and I think we're yet to have a perfect tear. You know what? It was perfect on one side. Look at that. Perfect on one side, and then we have a little corner. This might be the closest to perfect we can get with a paper bag. Do we have any pieces remaining? There's a quick pour. No pieces remain in the first bag. It sucks as well. Lego are doing this to be more eco-friendly, make sure they're recyclable. But they line the bags. You might be able to see a shine of the light. Okay, not really. But they line the bags with like a really cheap thin silicone, I think it is, which stops the pieces from breaking free, but also means they're not recyclable in the US. Thankfully, they are in the UK, to my knowledge. At least they were when we built R2-D2. But is this the ISB agent? It is. Not just the ISB agent. Is that... That's different to a Stormtrooper torso as well. I thought this looked quite like the Snowtrooper. And I feel like it does share quite a bit of resemblance. Maybe the Snowtrooper torso with Scout Trooper legs. Is that a Karma? Let me build the minifigure and then I'll be able to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Not an exclusive head, I'm afraid. And the little bags, I still am unsure just how good the little bags are. Eco-friendly, yet the plastic from the bricks. Actually, the plastic from the bricks, so I think the plant elements are made from different plant materials that are biodegradable at the least. And also, Lego tried making bricks from plastic bottles. I think that has now completely stopped. There are a few pieces out there in various sets, likely creator boxes and a few of the Lego own brand sets. I don't think they could get Disney to agree to it. Made from plastic bottles, which sounds good until you realise, you know, you're talking about weaker Lego bricks and no one's really up for that. We spend the money on not being eco-friendly. Yeah, Lego is increasing because of all the taxes being put on it. So I think that's quite a fair assumption. Here we go. I'm going to remove the barricade from this guy because, there we go. You get to see the entire torso. Check that out. We do have almost like a Snow Trooper panel in the inside, and you can see with the legs what I mean about the black top half, not dual molded, only white legs. I think I'm all right with this minifigure just because of that white printing. It's majority white on top, and then we've got some sort of Karma, maybe a jacket, but it is printed on like some sort of Karma. Could have had a white cloth piece, even if it is a jacket. If that's the bottom of a jacket, that could have been in white maybe. But yeah, it's interesting. No hairpiece coming out of the helmet either, just a regular black cap with, that's not an Imperial logo. It's a, oh, it's the Death Star logo. I don't think we've seen that yet. Definitely better than Dedra's legs. Yeah, can't wait to be opening those. But the minifigure ain't half bad. I just wish we got this guy in a battle pack. There's, I think, 5 of them in the trailer. We could have got at least 2 variations and then like the old Rebel pack, swap them up. We need more Imperial battle packs. Throw in a Mud Trooper, an ISB agent, a Mud Trooper, a Stormtrooper, and maybe an Imperial official in the black uniform. I think that would make a really cool battle pack. That then we're getting 4 more Imperial Troopers, and if we want more, especially if they throw in a Mud Trooper, we'll probably be picking up handfuls of them. Which one would I have preferred, an ISB or an Imperial soldier? I think the Imperial, the police force that go out with their shields, I think that could have been cool. The only thing with it is because this is a U-Wing, I'm hoping there is a massive reason we've got this trooper. Maybe the U-Wing lands and this is the guy we see in the still trailer shot. There is one trailer shot where K2SO is charging down this specific minifigure. Maybe this is the first one that gets sent out. Maybe this is the last one that remains. We have no idea until Wednesday, but there's got to be a reason. Could this be Cyril 2.0? Could this minifigure, this character, have a name and have more importance to the set? I don't see Lego picking this character. I think this is just one of the characters that Star Wars named. They do have a Hasbro minifigure as well, which sort of backs up that idea. The fact that other companies have been given the figure. But a battle pack of this trooper would have been cool, especially given the Scout Trooper-like legs, the Snow Trooper torso. I think we could have got a few of these. I might be making up the rest of the crew. And we've just got announced, not Lego, but we have just got announced, this guy's not standing. Not standing for anything. There we go. We have just got announced Tales of the Empire Funko Pops. Again, it's not Lego. You might not be interested. But Tales of the Empire was this time last year. Do you think we could get not just the Lego set? Do you think on the horizon, Lego usually leave it a few months. We're normally getting anything that come out May 4th. We would probably get in the June to August. Not sure how many sets we see in July. But do you think we could get something like a CMF for Tales down the line? Right now, we've got Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and Tales of the Underworld. They could give us Dooku, young Dooku. They could give us young Qui-Gon. They could give us a younger Ahsoka with the different outfit. Maybe like Ahsoka's mother figure and a baby Ahsoka. 4 minifigures from Jedi, 4 from Empire, Fourth Sister, Barriss, Thrawn, and Rook. Is it Rook, the bounty hunter style figure that he uses in Rebels? Then we could also get maybe Thrawn in a different outfit as well. That'd be nice to see. And then from Tales of the Underworld, you know, we get a Sarge, we get the boy, we get Cad Bane. Who would you want aside from Cad Bane? Colby? Maybe we get those 12 minifigures, or better yet, wait till the 4th Tales, hopefully next year, and get another 4 figures. 16 minifigures in a CMF. I'd be collecting that. I'd be picking those up day one. Any sort of Star Wars CMF, I think a load of us all think the same. Any Star Wars CMF, we will be picking up day one, purely because it's something I personally have wanted for so many years. Well, the licensing is a tricky. Planet builds, not just the Planet Microfighters, but early days of Lego. You remember the little Empire builds, like you'd get Palpatine's throne with Palpatine and some guards. The little hallway on Endor with Vader and Luke. Solo, we get in Carbonite in Jabba's palace with a few figures. Little sets like that. We don't want battle packs with the millionth dropship. At this point, I'm asking Lego to give us back Luke Landspeeders in place of Imperial dropships. How many? We got one last year, we got one this year, and I'm pretty sure we got another one 2-3 years ago. Can't believe we're getting so many Imperial dropships. A Solo movie villain. Oh, I don't have the Funko of that character. That's one of like 3 Funkos I'm missing from the Solo range. Alongside Lando in the real snazzy outfit, you know, the yellow shirt, red tie hanging down, we could get a Solo / Rogue One, maybe CMF. They could fill in figures. A CMF would fix everything with Star Wars minifigures. Only one Andor set? No problems. CMF. Want to get a Crosshair minifigure out there? Bad Batch CMF. There are so many characters that pop up in Bad Batch. Not just the Clone Troopers. Especially the Clone Troopers, though. That would be nice to get. And Lego could fix so much with a Star Wars CMF. The licensing, I don't see as an issue. Star Wars kind of have to request it, like they did for Marvel, or like we're led to believe they did with Marvel, because otherwise Lego can't just take it on their own accord to make a CMF. If only they could. But Star Wars has the same license with Hasbro as Indiana Jones and Marvel have, because they're all part of the same agreement. The contracts are technically 3 separate entities, but they're all part of the same agreement with Hasbro. And we've got Marvel CMFs. We said about this the other day on stream. We have 2, not just 1. They went and did it again. We were like, oh, Star Wars doesn't work because of the license, which was a rumor started, I think, on Reddit. So, you know, pinch of salt for that one. But yeah, Marvel then had a CMF when that came out. And just in case we forgot about the first season, which I do quite a lot, they brought out a second CMF for Marvel. Same agreement with Hasbro regarding the minifigures and what can be used. So I'd love to see a Star Wars CMF. Maybe we could get something like the planet builds, because what we've been talking a lot about is ships versus scenery. I would have loved this U-Wing to have come with at least a door. Give us a door. We see the shot in the trailer. This guy runs out the door and K2 potentially yeets this character just across, shattering every bone in their body. So if we got a door with this U-Wing, a little bit of scenery, for most of us, this going in the parts bin. But then we can also build off of that. We get enough of these little bits, piece them together. Suddenly we're building these giant Imperial structures using parts off like 5 different sets. But I do think Lego knows ships sell. We see more ships than we do anything like dioramas. Dioramas look awesome, but they're clearly not selling as well as Lego would like. Otherwise, I think we would have got more by now. We would be seeing a lot more dioramas. So something like CMFs, the minifigure polybags, Lego already know And I don't think it works as well with the anniversary minifigures as well. The encyclopedias, they're not selling as well as everything else Lego is putting out for Star Wars. And I don't want Lego to take that the wrong way. They're completely different to what a CMF would do, especially if a CMF includes named clones or any sort of trooper in general. Could you imagine a Star Wars trooper CMF? I don't mean to get your hopes up. I would love for Lego to turn around and be like, we've heard you, we'll give it. But I don't think it's happening anytime soon. If they did release, if Lego were to release a trooper CMF, it would be impossible to find. Not only would people be building armies, but because it's the first Star Wars CMF, it's also just going to be picked up because it might be worth something in a few years. These troopers might not be the most popular troopers, but just simply a Star Wars CMF at this point. It's been hyped up so much with no promise. I think it would sell out pre-order. Lego wouldn't be able to keep up. It would be just bigger than the 501st Battle Pack of 2020, and that sold like crazy. Can't believe how well that sold. I saw a load of it in my local store, so it wasn't everyone buying it out, but you couldn't pick it up on the internet. I should have picked up a few more at the time. I think a CMF would make Star Wars go crazy. There's nothing that could do what a CMF would do. Nothing whatsoever. No chance of it. We've got, let's go back to the U-Wing. We'll be talking in and out about various topics, I'm sure. But we've got this little interior space down here. And for the ARC 170, for Fenix, what else have we built? We've taken a look at Plo Koon's Microfighter coming out in June. The old U-Wing as well. We always talk about room for blasters. And right now, this little section down here, which you can open up, seems the perfect place to store blasters and weapons for this set. Perhaps your minifigures are going on display elsewhere. Perhaps, you know, there's no blaster clips right now. That might change. We might get some blaster clips in this set, but they're probably only going to be for Andor and K2 who belong in this set. The rest of the minifigures are probably going to be deserted on the outside. So it's the perfect little hidey hole in there. Maybe you can store like a pound coin as well. I don't think there's space for 2 coins, but there's definitely space for 1. And sneak that in there. Let's see how easy it is to access with these clips on. Well, they cover up the side, so it's not easy, but you can still grab it from the top, open it up, store a blaster in there. Maybe that's also where we can store the spare blasters. The little studs that, there's going to be stud shooters on this set. There's flick fire missiles. Oh, maybe there's no stud shooters. That would be interesting to see. All right, let's not get too far ahead here. I have a tendency of jumping ahead and forgetting like the smallest 1x2 element. It's not a worry for me leaving them in the bags as much as it is leaving them on the desk and not putting them on properly. Do like a good old Inga. I noticed on the cover, it looked very briefly, so it might have a feature that we missed. No, never mind, it's right here. We've got 2 grey plates, 2x2s, and then 2x2 tile. Hello there, unknown guy. Yes, time. 4 o'clock Amsterdam time. So how long? No stud shooters, only spring loaded. Like to see it. Like to see it in a Lego Star Wars set. Oh, hold on. Have I built this? I built this the wrong way around. Thank you for the time though, because honestly, earlier would be a little better than for me. So I will take that into consideration. Hopefully we can get some earlier streams going. So let's fix this up. I'm trying to cater to both the American and the European audience here, which I think there's only one way of doing, and it's to stream early and stay up late. So going forward, I've seen a lot of you watch videos as well. A lot of my audience, generally speaking on YouTube, do watch videos around 12 o'clock. So I might release the videos a little bit early. You're only getting a few hours extra of content here. Does this go on? Yeah, there we go. And it also helps with updates. A lot of updates happen quite late on in the day for me. So if we can get some playing in before some of the updates. For games like Fortnite Monday, we're playing Repo. Finally, you may have seen the short about that. I'm excited to kickstart that. Solo run for the start. I'm hoping we make it through the first stream 0 deaths. I might be asking too much. I'm not sure I can do 0 deaths on my first encounter, but I'm going to give it my all. We're going to go in hoping, you know, 0 deaths. 0 deaths, full stop, would be really nice. But again, might be asking a little too much when it comes to Repo. So many things that can catch you out. A bit like Fortnite recently. And then we can finally get around to building some Repo sets. Because I think that's an idea. Could do... Actually, Repo could be submitted to LEGO Ideas. That's a shout. We only need 10,000 over there. If I can usher 10,000 of the 4 million people that have watched that short over to Ideas, we could get our very own LEGO set here. First sticker of the night. Let's put sheer focus into these. All right. Got sticker 4. Sticker 4. Should one not come first? Is it in the order they design? I don't know. Why is the first sticker not sticker 1? Oh, look at this. All right, I think it's a little too far up, if anything. But look at that sticker. That is almost perfect. I think it's a little too far up. If we are being nitpicky, maybe a PSA 8, not a PSA 10. But that just means we got to do better next time. And this is the controls on the ground level. Technically where the pilot should be sitting. I think LEGO have shifted them up just a little bit. And look, the rest of our studs. No stud shooters indeed. These cookies though. These cookies are nice. So, we'll take a look towards the end of the stream once we've got the U-Wing built. Because I do want to get the old U-Wing out and compare it. But I realise later this year, we're meant to be getting a turbo tank. This in my hand here is this month's LEGO Star Wars magazine for the UK. I think it was last month for a few other European magazines, but it is a turbo tank. Quite nice, actually, the way they've built it. Quite a few pieces to go to this. Quite a few handy pieces as well, if you do like your mock building. Could this be teasing a future set? And if so, we like to think this in the LEGO Star Wars community. I know you've probably seen a load of videos of, even my old videos, when we got Palpatine's shuttle in the Advent. I convinced myself that was a Rogue Class shuttle coming with Wolfie, finally bringing the last Clone Commander to a LEGO set. And yeah, we're still waiting on that Wolfie set, haven't we? No news of it just yet. Never say never. Turbo tank maybe. But I thought it was quite interesting, given that it is a set that is rumoured to come out soon. Not you know, necessarily August. August is the date at the minute. It's my favourite type of shooter ever released. Oh, that's the other fun tab. My favourite type. So the Flick Fire Missile, I think it's a classic. We've got them with the Clone Turbo Tank. Oh, there we go. We got them with a Clone Turbo Tank. And the thing with the Flick Fire Missiles is well, it's quite self-explanatory. You had to flick it and then the missile would shoot out. Tons of fun. but after a while your finger might hurt. I quite like the oversized rubber bolts. They came with, there was an Endor Lego Star Wars set and a Hoth one. You know, the battle one with the Rebel and the Empire. And then we also have, I think, the giant brick built, you know, the Jyn Erso. Everyone knows the Jyn Erso. But the Jyn Erso came with a blaster that had this rubber tipped plastic element that was lethal. It was like the Flickfire, not the Flickfire, sorry, spring-loaded missiles, but lethal and could wipe out some of the smaller microfighters, just send them flying to pieces. But yeah, I think that has to be my favourite. Flickfire's up there because it was in all my childhood sets, you know. Even the TIE Fighter had two of them with the little like headlight. I can't remember what it was. It was one of those rounded off pieces in the end of the Flickfire missile. Absolutely goated for that TIE Fighter, but I think I'd have to go with the rubber tipped. Oh, we found a pattern. Yes. Love me a pattern. Always gunship, then ATTE, then turbo tank. Okay, that's... yeah, it is. Because we got the AT... or would we have got the gunship? What came last? We got the Coruscant Guard gunship, then we got the ATTE, but then we got the UCS gunship as well. And we did get a few years ago in the magazine, I think early on in this channel's Lego days, we got a magazine ATTE, and we've seen the gunship multiple times. Maybe there is a pattern. If we take a look at all of the magazines, all of the little poly bags, we'll ignore advent calendar builds. They might throw a spanner in the works. I think there would be... there must be some sort of pattern. That is odd, to be fair. Lego are planning way too ahead with some of these. UCS gunships. So next, UCS AT-AT. I would love a UCS AT-AT. I think it makes sense. What are the UCS sets? Because every other year we got a Clone Wars, then original trilogy. And this year they threw a spanner in the works, giving us the Jango Slave one in May. So I think Lego are going to switch it up, give us every single year. It won't necessarily be May, and then I think the Death Star's rumoured for October. We don't know much on it yet, but it's not necessarily May, October, but twice a year we get a UCS set for Star Wars. Maybe we do see the return of sequel trilogy sets, Kylo Ren. We'll see how well Kylo did. I would love a UCS Takodana. A UCS Takodana would be amazing. I would love to see that. But I think next year... from Booster, I can't say I've seen that one. Let's have a little look. I assume that's a instructions and, you know, get your own pieces. Unless it's sold in a bundle. In which case, touche. So like ATTE. I think ATTE UCS sets on the cards for next year. And then original trilogy wise, what have we got? So it's 2026. It's not the anniversary of any of the original trilogy movies. Maybe we could get something like a Snowspeeder next year. A UCS ATST. Could we get a UCS ATST? I think I've heard a rumor about that. Oh wow, this is what you'd want a UCS ATTE to be. It kind of feels like it's playset scale, which works. That is the 145, similar scale to the gunship, for instance. But there you go, loading ramp for an ATRT, and we've also got so much more detail than the playsets. There is hardly any gaps on this. Yeah, this thing is that solid. I'd love to see that. The ATRT fitting in as well is something that Lego haven't given us, so they could squeeze all that in. But with a gunship, we got Windu, a Sandy Windu, and a Clone Trooper. Who's coming with the ATTE? If it was a UCS set, it's not confirmed for anyone joining in, but if it was, who would you have in the set? I don't know. I don't know who I'd have, you know. That's a tricky one. Because I don't know if I'd want 2 minifigures, or if I'd want, you know, like the 212 ATTE. Oh, we've got a few pieces stuck. 3 pieces stuck in the bag. Good thing you told me to check. There we go. Flat packet, and then we know it's safe. And the dropship to go with. Maybe that would be a cool UCS set, getting the both of those, because we're probably speaking hundreds of pounds. So we might as well make it dropship ATTE. There we go. Don't lose any of those pieces. But yeah, I wonder, minifigures, you'd have to have some sort of, I think the pilots were regular clone troopers for the most part, but you'd have to have some sort of, you know, pilot minifigure. A gunner is a must for a ATT. Maybe arm printing. Arm printing sounds like a bit of a lot, but yeah, it's maybe arm printing on clone troopers. Maybe that's asking for too much. We could get another Coleman Trebor. Maybe an exclusive Sandy version of Coleman. Rest in peace. Final moments to go alongside Windu. We just get every single Jedi, but in a Sandy Jedi robes. Probably going to reach the first 1K UCS set. Yeah, it genuinely is. Death Star. I have been thinking about the Death Star, and I'm kind of getting scared for it. I don't think it's going to be any bigger than the £400 set that we got back in the day. I think the Death Star could be the same size with detail absolutely caked into this, because you think how long ago those Death Stars were. It doesn't work. Inflation does not work. Inflation's not that bad. The £400 like 10, 15 years ago will end up being £1,000. We haven't found that much as a society. But I think the Death Star could be not much bigger than that £400 set. The re-release with the minifigures as well that we saw back in the day. Because, yeah, that's a good point. It could be fully closed off. If it's fully closed off and then you remove the panels with an interior, that would be cool. But yeah, I do think they could just cake a lot of detail. You look at some sets. We're sat here with the U-Wing. Price-wise, I don't remember what the old U-Wing was. Do we know what the old U-Wing sold for? But the new U-Wing sells for 60, which is the same as the Arc 170. Doesn't feel too great. The detail in this thing, the biggest piece we've come across at the minute is a 3x6 wedge. 4x6? 4x6. I think that says everything. The fact that a 4x... Oh, no. What are we building on? We're building on a 4x10. 4x10 plate is the biggest plate we've come across. Most of the pieces in the old U-Wing were a lot bigger than that. I mean, looking at all the wedges, we got like 1 million of each wedge, and that's a 12 by 3, and that's pretty much all the wing is. A few 12 by 3 wedges, back to back to back. Not saying it's bad, it works for the set. But for this new U-Wing, the detail we've got, you can't make with big plates. And that's what scares me about. It's not a bad scare, but it does make me worry about the new Death Star. The fact that we're going to get so much detail. It's a UCS set. Check out the Falcon, how detailed that is. But the Falcon's got bigger pieces. The Death Star is going to have so many little scenes. I think we might get a shock at just how small it is, but it's going to be worth it. Lego pushed it back. We don't know Lego pushed it back. All speculation, as is everything else that's coming out my mouth. No Death Star has been confirmed yet by Lego, but the fact that LAN members aren't talking about a Death Star, I think confirms it, doesn't it? When LAN goes quiet about a leak or a rumor, that's when you know it's official and they've been told not to talk about it. So that's good news. But I think they might be going all in. Lego go all in with most Star Wars sets, but they're doubling down. They're going all in. They're going extra all in with this ship. And Can't wait. 38 minifigures was the rumor. Which minifigures they are isn't confirmed. There was a few YouTube videos that, you know, run with a few leaks. A lot of April Fool's pranks, weren't there, going on? Just to see who was paying attention. But 38 is the newest because the ISB room. We could get so many different scenes as well crammed in, because we could get Tarkin from, well, we could get the main floor with, you know, the screen where the planets go kaboom. And planets, they only ever blew up Alderaan, didn't they? Because in the original Star Wars, A New Hope, the original Star Wars movie, that I think we're led to believe is the first planet, and they test it out in Rogue One, but they only blow up the one planet. But we could get Tarkin in that room, we could get the ISB, we could get the detention block, we could get, you know, Kenobi doing his thing, we could get a Vader meditation chamber, because there is a Vader meditation chamber in the Death Star. Oh, give with purchase is a TIE fighter with 3 figs. I've seen back and forth 1 to 3 figs, but I think the page that Reddit's keeping up is 3 figs. So, yeah, 41 minifigures overall. I think the TIE fighter is going to be... Was it 2022 we saw the TIE fighter set last? I think the TIE fighter is going to be that. A full-on set, 3 minifigures, probably a pilot, a stormtrooper, and a Death Star droid. Oh, it also hit the Mon Calamari ship. It hit Admiral Radix's ship, was it? That it shot at, which is kind of the home one with an extra bit of support around it. Ain't a bad looking ship, to be honest. Maybe get a little, maybe get a few little ships around the outside as well. Maybe it comes with a bag of just like grey green pieces, and it's the Alderaan bag, and you just scatter those in a pile. Lego could 1,000 pieces. I think it's what, 9? It's 9,000 pieces, isn't it? It's not quite 10,000. It's 9,000 pieces. They could give like 40 pieces to Alderaan. Brutal, brutal. Right, sticker number 2. I think we could get a throne room. There's no reason. The Emperor minifigure might be a stretch to include, because we don't know the Emperor set foot on it, at least while it was fully operational. But we could get a throne room, because there was an identical one in the first Death Star to the second Death Star. Second was slightly bigger. Slightly bigger. Decently bigger. Not as big as Starkiller. I'm still sticking to that though. If we're getting £1,000 Death Star, when's the £5,000 Death Star 2, and then the what, £10,000 Starkiller? Oh, what if the Death Star fits the scale of the Super Star Destroyer? The Super Star midi scale. Because that was, I think that was about this big. I remember building it when turning the Acclamator into the Venator. I built it. And that was about this big. I think the £400 Death Star was about this big. So we'd be looking roughly in the ballpark of this area. I think that would work. It's about the size of the Slave One box. Not that, I guess many of you probably have a UCS box laying around. But it's about the size of the UCS Slave One box, and that's how big the set would be. How big the box would be, you're looking at 4 times that. But if it is to scale, it makes sense it'd be to scale, because then you could display it next to, and that would look so cool. I also think that the Slave One UCS set is probably not far off the scale of the Kenobi ship, the Kenobi Starfighter set. It's either 145 or 130 scale. Most of the old UCS sets have been 145 scale, but I can see Lego pushing a 130 scale. And for their UCS sets, and that would make the Starfighters more expensive to sell, of course. Oh, sticker number 5. Yeah. It's curious seeing how big this could be. There was there was a Reddit post that I saw earlier today of someone trying to size it up. It's all very circumstantial information, so we have no idea really, but that just makes it more fun. We can guess whatever we want right now. They would go so well together. Oh, this isn't held down at... Wait. Oh, it is held down. Oh, this is just like the old U-wing. So we've got this little piece on the top here, and that just slots in. That's nice. And this is the cockpit, so it sits up a little bit. It sits up a little bit, but I'll save my judgment for when we actually put it together. I'm liking these elements. This is a new element. I think it's new for this year. This 1x4, 5, 2x5 slope element with the 1x2 little bit sticking out. I quite like this. It's appeared in the Acclamator. It's also appeared in... Plo Koon didn't have it. It's appeared in a few Lego Star Wars sets and a few other sets this year. And I'm quite liking this shape. It's different, it's unique, and it's exactly what we need from new Lego pieces. A lot of new Lego pieces aren't new Lego pieces. A lot of new Lego pieces tend to be old Lego pieces built into one plastic mold. Definitely 4+ sets in mind, that sort of thing. But when we get an actual new Lego piece like this, it's almost inspiring because we've got a new angle to work with. It doesn't go perfectly with the rounded elements, but for a Rebel ship, I think perfection is far from on our minds. When it comes to the Rebellion, I don't know about you, perfection is the last word that crosses my mind. I'm thinking of a few other choice words. Snazzy little side panel. And then I assume instead of the giant cockpit, the old set had a giant cockpit that was shared only with the UCS X-Wing, I believe. So I'm taking it there's like a glass panel. I think knowing Lego builds recently, a glass panel's probably what they'd go with. But since we've got none in this bag, we'll have to wait till the next one. If we're getting a UCS Death Star, the UCS Death Star is definitely... Oh, I thought I got two at the same side. It's definitely on the way. I think that's safe. Which U-wing would I prefer? I built the old one in a stream so I could compare them. And honestly, off the boxes, if I forget about my experience with the first one, which nothing bad, so I guess it's not weighing in too much, I think I prefer the new one. And it's because of the detail. Old Lego sets were big. They were big. They looked expensive back in the day when, early 2000s, 1999 even, when the Star Wars theme kicked off. The world was very much of the mindset that bigger is better, which if you've watched Star Wars, you'll know that size matters not. My dodgy Yoda impression. Because new Lego sets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've just put 8 pieces on the side of this U-wing where... Oh, cookie reminder. Yes, I forgot I had a second one. Thank you. 8 pieces on the side of that U-wing where the old U-wing uses... I think there's actually 3 on the side, but it would tend to use 1, 2, 3. We nearly triple the pieces and the detail speaks for itself. These are still pretty fresh, so they're crumbling so easy, but it's so nice. So, I think the U-wings speak for themselves. I really do. We got the slightly bigger U-wing. It's not that much bigger. It's 2 studs in width, and I think it's 4 studs in length. This one's a bit more proportionally accurate. But Lego has taken a lot of interest in scale recently, and I wonder if it's because of people like myself here building ships in scale, and Lego have realized, especially with the UCS line, UCS ships tend to scale up to at least familiar ships. Looking at ships like the AT-AT, got released. The UCS AT-AT released alongside a non-UCS AT-ST. They seem to scale pretty well together. We also... Oh, we're on to the next bag. Bag number 3. Oh, I said already. I feel like this is about right. And we've only got one minifigure. We've got Andor in bag number 3. And then we've got... I'm going to guess K2SO's in bag 4. I'm going to guess we're going to get K2SO early. The doors fold down, don't they? On these ball joints. Whereas the old U-Wing, that sliding mechanism, I wish they had that on the gunship. Well, they kind of do have it on the gunship. Lego just didn't implement it as well. Tried the Solo TIE Fighter in the size of a hangar, but it fits 2 small TIE Fighters instead of 1. Yeah, I think the small ones, it depends on what sort of mock you're going for. We got a clean cut that is straight. There's what's this? There's a little bump on the camera. That might just be the way I'm holding it. There you go. We got a clean cut on the paper bag. If you are trying to build something like a hangar, I would go for the smaller ship. I do want to build Kamino, and I do want to use the UCS Slave 1 on Kamino. I think the hangar for UCS Slave 1 is going to be too big for this desk. I might just have to put Kenobi ship on the hangar, but we'll see closer to the time of that. Oh, another piece stuck. I think that's what, bag 3, that 2 for 1 on pieces sticking. Isn't the Solo TIE Fighter around the basically UCS size as far as the ATTE and all the other ships? The 145, they're to scale with the UCS gunship, not with the UCS Star Destroyer. And I've seen, actually, as far as U-Wings being built, I've seen no images of the actual U-Wing themselves being built, which isn't much a surprise. That's what LAN members are for. But I have seen everyone not complaining, but saying how they've got 2 Andor hair pieces. Which, I just got 2 Andor hair pieces. I don't know why. Hello there, Jack Lego Builds. We got 2 Andor hair pieces in this set. This doesn't normally happen. Did they think one of them is a hat? Is Andor wearing a wig? I know Andor wears wigs. He wears wigs. But is he wearing a wig? Does he go bald at some point? Is that going to be a plot twist? Andor's not actually Andor. Andor's another rebel. We get up to the finale. You're in the right place if you love Star Wars. Get up to the finale of Andor Season 2. Andor gets shot. It's then revealed that Andor is Bix in disguise. Pulls off the wig. And then Andor steps out. I don't know. I don't think my mind could take this. Yeah, everyone's getting 2 Andor hair pieces. You know why? You know why we're getting 2 Andor hair pieces? Pieces? I said that weird. Because if we grab a hair piece, let me show you. This is the reason we're getting 2. If we grab the spare hair piece and put it on our ISB officer, there we go. Now the ISB officer has hair and we're left with a spare hat. I don't think this is the case. It's not a terrible hair piece. It's an old city hair piece that Lego have been using. I would say that might be a flash forward. But Andor's got to survive because of Rogue One. It might be for the ISB agent. We'll leave it next to him just in case. Can't forget Andor's blaster. And I'm curious to see if the 4 clips... We've got 4 characters. K2's definitely got to have a blaster. And we've got 4 clips on the inside here. Probably to support the doors, but also for blasters. Maybe. Let's keep building and find out. Imagine if something does... If anything happens to Andor in the next 3 episodes, I've called it. Maybe not death or anything that dark, but you never know. Or this is the start of the Star Wars multiverse. Andor's gonna die, changes Rogue One forever, we go down a different path, and now we've got Star Wars Galaxy 2. Well, Multiverse 2. We've already seen the second galaxy with Peridia. But Peridia? Yeah, Peridia in Ahsoka. This is going to be Star Wars Multiverse number 2. We got Universe 2 as opposed to the common one. And then we finally get our What If show. If that's how Star Wars announce it, that would be hilarious. It'd be announced as well through like an in-game Fortnite event. Oh, please no. I don't know if we'd be able to take that. I'm too weak. I can't hold on any longer. Is this a wing? No, it's not. We're still working on the body. Same connection points as the old U-wing. We should be able to see a big story. Do you think that's why... Leave her alone. Yeah, we've got the comics explaining Kira's story. Maybe Kira even makes a little cameo in Maul Shadow Lord. I know Maul Shadow Lord is rumoured to be about Maul and Darth Talon. But if something were to happen to Talon, maybe Talon runs off with Starkiller. Please canonize Starkiller, please. Basically, canon in my eyes. Head canon, I guess. But if something was happening to Talon, and the finale is Maul meeting up with Kira, that could be quite good. I wouldn't mind seeing Bix's story continued in comics. They did it so well with Kira. They did it so well with Poe Dameron. They did it so well with Maul, explaining Maul and how Maul came about. Not really how Maul came about with Palpatine. We don't see much of that. A little bit toyed within the show, in the Clone Wars. But it would be nice to see. Starkiller in canon would have to be nerfed. There's no way. Unless Starkiller's powerful, but at the same point in the game, Starkiller's after the second one, I mean, there's so many different endings to the game, dependent where you stop playing and also what story, what choices you make to a certain extent. But Starkiller's left off kind of at peace after the second game, I want to say. I need to replay those. We've got a ton of Lego games that I'd like to stream. I don't know why the Lego games weren't working, but we might get back to them at some point. We've got Repo starting next week, but I'm going to have to go through KOTOR and Force Unleashed. 2 games I've got to play again. Oh, nice little elements there. I think Starkiller could kind of work. If Starkiller's at peace and just goes off, lives a secluded, kind of Yoda-like life, how they'd set that up, thankfully that's up to Star Wars. We don't have to worry about that. But if they could pull that off without hurting the Starkiller character, I think Starkiller would work. The problem would be, surely Starkiller would bring some attention. We're waiting for Rey's new Jedi Order, and I don't think it's going to be Rey's Jedi Order at all. I think Rey's new Jedi Order, Rey's going to start a new Jedi Order, and very quickly, a certain Ahsoka Tano's going to come back from Peridia, from the little vacay, and take over the Jedi Order. We might see little cameos from Cal Kestis. We might see a new Mara Jade brought into canon. You know, possibilities are endless. I would love to see Starkiller show up and just be like, oh yeah, I was Vader's apprentice, and then there you go, Ahsoka and Starkiller have a little bonding sesh. But I do think Ahsoka is probably better to take over the new Jedi Order, and of course by Jedi we mean Skywalkers. The Jedi are gone, they're in the past. The Jedi made some really bad mistakes. Not just talking about Anakin here. Ki-Adi-Mundi's to blame for a lot of war crimes in the Clone Wars. Ki-Adi-Mundi's war crime count is up there with Chopper's. But they start a Skywalker, like, academy. Skywalker Academy, there you go. Ezra can join. Finn, by the time we pick them up, Finn's probably a master training someone else off planet, so that can excuse him maybe not showing up. So I would like a little cameo at least. I want everyone to show up in the new Jedi Order. But Rey starts it off, Ahsoka takes up, and rather than Jedi, they call themselves Skywalkers, to honour not just Anakin, Luke, Leia, the lot of them, but then to be better than the Jedi and Sith. They're not afraid of the dark, they're not pushing light. Maybe attachments are pretty cool now. I think Skywalkers would be a great name for the new Order of Jedi. And if Ahsoka's not involved, maybe there's another Jedi Order. Maybe instead of 1,000,000 Sith... Hello there, brown monkey! Maybe instead of 1,000,000 Sith Orders, we've got 1,000,000 Jedi, and they start dueling it out. And before you know it, the Jedi are the Sith, and the Sith are the Jedi. Flip it on its head. And at this point, I've already lost like most of Star Wars audience. I just go run wild, do everything. Nope, I was wrong. No K2SO. We have, can you sub? Yeah, go ahead. I think, oh yeah, I turned off. I did turn off for the last few streams the sub only mode, but I didn't mean to do that. I only know because I was deleting so many of them earlier. All right. Oh. I don't know if there's a technique to this. I feel like there should be a technique. We tore too far down at the front, and then at the back, it went up. Thank you for subbing. I don't have the sub. I did have a little pop-up that came up when you sub, and I don't have that anymore. It wasn't working with YouTube. It worked fine with Twitch. Didn't work with YouTube. But Twitch it doesn't seem to be working either. No. I'll have to get one going for YouTube. Right, no pieces remain. A little bag in all of them though. I don't know when we'll be seeing Rey's new Jedi Order, because Daisy Ridley's been in a few movies recently. At least one. At least one. I think I can say a few after seeing one of them. But it doesn't feel like they're rushing into it. I think Disney should wait. How long has it been? It's been 10 years since the... It's been 10 years since The Force Awakens. 10 years! I did ISB Agent Army. Oh, I want to create the other ISB agents. The problem is we've seen them in one shot of the trailer. We don't get a clear look at all of them. And we don't know the context of them popping up. So as soon as I've watched Wednesday's episode, I might try and create a little army of ISB agents, because even not just these little guys, the tactical agents, but I'd love to get a Partagaz minifigure. Still don't have a Krennic minifigure. Maybe we can make custom minifigures for that whole Imperial table. Oh, that would be a nice room on the Death Star. I know it's not on the Death Star, but there should be a ISB conference room on the Death Star, should there not? So we might get all the important peeps on there. We've got a Dead Ramiro. We'll take a look at in the set. My favourite set, there's a few. I think one of my favourite sets is for sure the R2-D2 that we built for May the 4th this year. I've got all these accessories showing. Hope R2 doesn't mind being exposed on a live stream like this. But the accessories are awesome. We can fold them down to kind of hide them away. I think the R2-D2 is going to make me want C-3PO and Chopper. Maybe even K2SO. Maybe we just go all in on the droids. 100% give us the important peeps in the Death Star. How many people were on the Death Star? Because I thought it was millions, but I was doing some deep diving for a video recently. I can't remember which one, but I saw there was only like 750,000. That's not millions. It had like a 2 million capacity and was like a third full. Other favourite sets, we got the helmets that are the longest I've kept built, including Captain Rex right here with the Lego Star Wars helmet. There we go. I think Rex here is an awesome... It's Lego set from the neck up, Lego MOC from the neck down, and I think my favourite Lego set is usually the next one being built. So we'll throw in this U-Wing as well. Rather have the UCS filled, the UCS Death Star filled with Imperial figs. I think we're going to get Han, Luke in their Stormtrooper gear. Han, Luke, not in their Stormtrooper gear. We're going to get... I'm surprised they haven't thrown in like a Luke Landspeeder gift with purchase yet. With another Luke. I would like to see at least 5 troopers. Any less than 5 troopers is criminal. Oh, 1.7 million personnel, not quite 2 million. 400,000 maintenance droids and 250,000 civilians. So you're looking at, including droids and civilians, you're looking at nearly 2.5 million people. I think at the time of its destruction, it was in Catalyst. I read it somewhere, but I saw it recently on Wikipedia. I don't remember these facts. There was like 750,000 people on board when it exploded. It wasn't fully prepped up, which is why... Oh, thank you. Which is why they were able to pick up so quickly, you know, go straight after the rebels on Yavin, launch an attack, superstar destroyers, and eventually build another one, which I'm sure Starkiller Base isn't going to be the last Death Star. How big do you think we go before enough is enough? We got the Death Star, we got the Death Star 2, we got Starkiller Base. We started off, I'd like to point out, with the little Trade Federation ships. The little Trade Federation, Death Star 2, Starkiller Base, too big for this camera. I should have started off a bit smaller. I wonder how big we go before enough is enough. This is the biggest element we got in the last one. The dishes used in Andor Season 2 with Stalin Dedra is actually a thing. It folds into a planet looking. It's for sale. Oh. The little like plates and that used. A lot of the props that are used in... Oh, there you go. Let's have a look at this. A lot of the props used in Star Wars, I'm noticing, are a lot of Amazon items as well. Not just everyday items, but things that can be picked up for cheap. Very, very nice. As a Star Wars fan, they have so much that we're all going to want to buy. I should have copied and pasted this. Let's have a look. I imagine painting that like a Death Star. That, oh, that is pretty cool. I mean, they're not affordable, you know. I'm seeing here £145 is about the cheapest, all the way up to £400. But sold out. I wonder why they're sold out near me. That's a full-on set as well. So you get what? A bowl, or you get 2 bowls, 2 plate bowls, and then a tray. That's quite cool. That is cool. A lot of Star Wars props have been popping up all over the place, and they're tinkered with, but in ways we can replicate. I've got to work on my my cosplaying skills, I guess, for Halloween this year. Got a top last year. Jedi robe's only going to cut it so much. Put on a little Emperor accent and scare the next kid at the door, but gotta go all out. I do think it's a shout working on Andor, because Andor's got like the jacket, the shirt, just make them all war torn. But maybe I'll stand there with the like plates, bowls. I'll embody the plates. Oh, sticker time! Finally, sticker number 1. Which way? It looks symmetrical, but knowing my luck, there'll be this slight difference in it. So we're going to go with the top of the sticker at the top of the wing. I think that makes sense. Makes the most sense. And then on the outside of the wing. Nope, not good enough. Oh, we are on it today. Andor and Bix, that's a good idea. €139. I found 145 quid. But yeah, sold out where I am. Look at that. I am on it with the stickers. That's looking. I can't believe how well these stickers are going in. It's not just me, it's also the fact that Lego stickers in general are sizing up a bit closer to the bricks. I'd still like the stickers to be closer than they are right now, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely, you know, over time, one day we'll build a Lego set and the stickers will just be perfect. Or one day we'll open every Lego Star Wars set and they'll all be printed pieces or none at all. Sticker placement on fire is today. I think this warrants a little short about it. Oh, these white 4x3s, I don't think they're too common. I've got, okay. No, I've got two. I've got two that I'm not using, and that's not including all of the mini ones on the old Ewing. But I don't feel like they're common. Quite a good set to get a load of them in. The Ewing of all things. I wonder how long this Ewing's going to stay. Hello there, Loki. Welcome. White on white sticker. The colour difference. I mean, can we even see the colour? The camera makes it more obvious. The reason I show it off on camera, you can see it better on the camera than I can in person. Tantive stood out a bit in person. On camera, that was terrible. In person, the Tantive boarding don't look too bad. You have to pay attention to notice it. On camera, it's horrible. But look at that. The white on white. I can't... You might be able to zoom in on YouTube, maybe see a little difference. But I'm going to have to take a colour picker at that. I can't see any difference on screen of the Ewing wing. Lego are improving, and whilst we're here, we didn't look at Dedra. Look at Dedra. Look at the white on the legs. These are black legs, not dual moulded. I would have liked them to be dual moulded because the coat goes all the way around the back of the legs. So black legs does stand out. But look at that white. It's different. Maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me. It's so much better. Props to Lego. Bravo, Lego. Round of applause for Lego because it's been something that Lego have been stressed about. We as fans have been complaining in general about this for so long, and Lego have been trying. They keep saying they're trying. They're trying to work with different colours. They're trying to work with, you know, different printing processes. They've doubled up certain prints. That leads to more errors. And finally, Lego might be on something here. Finally, Lego might be putting out the best, which you love to see. As a big Lego fan and a big Star Wars fan, we only want the best for the both of them. Even if sometimes it don't seem that way. I can't believe that in the same set, we've got a white on white sticker. Perfect. I do have to say it's only the white lines. We don't have any white outline. You can see we've got blue to the edge and the white is sort of on the blue. But it don't make it any difference. It's still a white edge sticker, left and right. Crazy how good it is. Ooh, I like these little... So immediately I'm noticing we do have one more of this bright yellow sticker. But the old Ewing, I don't think had any of them. White printing error hasn't been here for long. Why Lego hasn't fixed it? Oh, it's been here for, quite some time, hasn't it? Finally, with Dedra, it's looking quite good. So I'm having a little look at the old Ewing. I didn't have the stickers for it, but this piece is different. This piece is quite different. The yellow's actually a bit closer to the end on the original one. Yeah, I got you, don't worry. And I don't think there's as many stickers on the new one. Not having the stickers really doesn't help. But I wonder if it's as satisfying to clip it in. Oh. No, I don't like this. It feels... Maybe it's because there's only one hinge. Let me see if there's a second hinge. And then that will secure things. Otherwise, I can see this popping straight off. It's very loose right now. Yeah, there we go. There is a second hinge. Oh, if there weren't a second hinge, I might have had to modify that straight up. There we go. This is like the old one. Oh, I do like the sound of the snap when the wing shuts. You don't have to do it so forcefully. There you go. It barely makes a sound if you do it soft, but it's looking quite long. Not as long. I think there's an extra one of these end plates on the other one. And that's because the wings are one wider. Wings are one wider, the body's two wider, I think. But I think this one is a more overall solid build. You know, we're talking about detail, size, the lot of it. Overall, this has felt more fun than the original one. And I don't know if it is going to be the same with those doors. The doors on the old one were nice. That little bit of Technic goes a long, long way. But so far, this is holding up nice and well. Action, it is. The old one especially. The old one's got a bit more weight to it. Maybe once we've built this, this will be a little heavier. I don't know where the weight of the old one comes. Maybe it's because there's so much Technic. This is being held much like my troop, my first order troop transport, held together with a lot of the brackets. You could, in theory, hollow out the entire build. All the bricks in the middle could go, and you could hold this together purely with the brackets, which is an interesting point to make because obviously it's a toy. Children are going to be flying this around. Where's the box? The age on it is 8+. So you've got 8-year-olds going to be flying this around, very swooshable, and it's going to be fragile. Those brackets can only take so much stress. But if you're using this for a mock, you can definitely hollow out the interior, and that's where we're going to get the space for Andor's seats. I'm going to be coming back to this once we've built it and getting 2. I think we can fit 2 minifigures in there with the brackets. It won't be easy, but I think we can push 2, especially someone like Andor and K2SO, because K2SO is a droid, easy to fit in a two space gap. Andor needs 3 studs. And action. Satisfying that is. Now let's build the other wing. Hello there, Alma. Welcome. Let's get... Again, I do wish we built both wings side by side. Maybe if they doubled up and we had one step, other wing. One step, the other wing. Maybe that would make it a bit more fun. Because it does feel like I'm going back building the same thing. Well, I guess I am to an extent. But I do think building both of them at the same time. It caught me off guard. We don't have the same tiles on top to be doing it. Maybe that's why they don't. I'm surprised this cookie's lasted so long. I promise cookies don't normally last that long in front of me. Alright. Another thing with the wings, because they're slightly smaller, you can see the black plate going along the edge. Rather than having the recessed stud and, I suppose, pose an issue with the stability of the wing, wouldn't want to risk it for the biscuit when it comes to wing stability. You don't want to have that recessed plate in there. So instead, LEGO have put a black plate in. And that has helped so much in building out the wing, keeping it looking like there's a gap in the middle. And we've got these 2 separate wings coming out. But in reality, it's just a black plate. It's fooling us. And it's doing a nice job, if I say so myself. The ball joints, have we... Oh yeah, we have got it in the open wing. How wide is this? Because the other one was meant to be like 60 centimeters, wasn't it? And it ended up being 75? We'll have to measure that. Still on a cookie. Honestly, this recipe slightly modified. I do like modifying recipes, but this is from BBC Good Food. This is their eggless cookie. And it's delicious. No specific reason it's eggless, but we have found eggless cookies firm up and have a nicer crunch to them. So it's just for personal preference, but if you haven't tried making cookies, I'd recommend for a non-baker giving cookies a go, because it's a lot of other things we've talked about making here on the channel are do this, let it rest. Do this, let it rest. Cookies, slap it in a bowl, mix it, scoop it on a pan, and it's ready to go. It's kind of like following steps to a complicated Lego set. Complicated being you have to like weigh out the bricks yourself. Oh, there we go. How is this compared to the other one? Perfect, perfect. And again, the white barely showing. Definitely not from that far away. And then same old for the same old like the other wing. Oh, forgot the hinge. There we go, now same old. A lot of these 3x4 character plates, which if we were to... Oh, not same old, we got another sticker. If we were to get a Star Wars CMF, would we want a CMF? A CMF is base plate and minifigure, or would we want a collectible scene? Collectible CBF, a collectible battlefield. So you can get a character with a portion of like the planet they're on. So we'll say, you know, the Emperor will come with the Emperor's throne. Then we can get Commander Bly with a bit of Felucia. I've built that before on the channel. We can get... What other characters could we get? And they'd each come with a little fraction of a world. Very similar to the Planet series. Less planet, more series. And I think in giving us the little bits of planets, they'd get away with pretty much doing whatever they wanted to the minifigures, wouldn't they? They'd be able to give us next to anything, as long as they include a little section of the world that it comes from. We never gave Dedra her blaster. But there is wing numero dos. It gives you a little close-up on how to connect it, but when it's in here, it really just goes straight in. Once you apply the other hinge as well, there's no way around connecting those. Yeah, similar to the modular. Little planets. I like the advent calendar. This year's advent calendar is all droid based. I've seen a few connections to a Star Wars Christmas album. It's a stretch. It looks nothing like the Christmas album cover. It's not in the same workshop, but it's quite interesting to see some of these, you know, comparisons out there with Lego sets the Lego designers had no idea about. Unless inspiration was taken, in which case, fair dues, I do not see it. But with the little tubs, I think we spoke about this very briefly. The little sections of the Anzellan workshop have clips on them. Like the same clips in this CMF, and you can have this string of planets. Maybe we get a few different series, and each series will have someone from Coruscant. Micro Jedi Temple. We can have little micro builds. String them all along, and we've got these little planets, little sections of planets that line up, and they add up. They do add up. Slowly but surely, we've got this little micro build of Coruscant that will go great with any of the senators. Maybe we get a few different separatist planets as well to go with, like the Admiral Trench minifigure we've spoken about. That would go great. This is getting done quickly. We've got, what, 2 more bags. We got the engines. That'll probably be the final bag, unless they split that into 2. I think that will be the final bag, and then the next bag will just be building up cockpit and the likes. Oh yeah, and then we can flush this down. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah, we've got the last 2 slopes to smooth this all over. 1. Ready for the cockpit to go in. And I hear there's a similar mechanism to the last one. Favorite 2025 set. Oh, so far, I'm not going to say the UCS Slave one because we haven't built it just yet. Same with like the Dark Falcon, the gift with purchase. I'm going to outrule that one. Slave one and the gift with purchase are honorary mentions. The Arc 170, I like that. I've designed an alternate build for the Arc 170. I'm going to get to building it on Tuesday, so I'll probably be live streaming that. And the U-Wing's pretty cool. I think I'm going to say the Arc 170 as my favourite 2025 set. I've built as well Darth Maul's mech now. I haven't shown that one off yet. We'll get a look at that at the end. I've built Darth Maul's mech and Plo Koon Starfighter. Plo Koon Starfighter. Microfighters will never be the same. Rex's Y-Wing was a decent level microfighter. Plo Koon's microfighter is next level. I like the favourite purchase. All right, favourite set of 2025 is the Arc 170. But my fiance, who's moderating this stream, shout out, is the one that got me that for my birthday. So that isn't a purchase. I think favourite purchase of 2025. Oh, that's a good one. I did get favourite purchase, I think, is the 3PO keyring. The 3PO keyring with a dual molded leg. I've got one somewhere. The June sets aren't available yet. So it's a good thing I'm not a part of LAN because I have gone ahead and built them. Lego shouldn't give 360s. For someone like me who is very maths minded, you know in Iron Man, when Tony's building a new suit and he like zaps the computer out and there's all the elements, that's what goes on in my head. I look at a Lego set, someone gives me a 360 of it, Lego.com or a review. I have purely used Lego.com. I didn't want to cheat with these. So I have used Lego.com and I will be comparing how close I got at a later date. But Lego gave the 360s and I've already built 2 of them. Yeah, the cheapest. The keyring that costs $4.99 is my favourite purchase. It is crazy. I'm sure that will change when we build the Slave one. All right, excuse me, please. Out the way, out the way. I'm liking the U-Wing so far. Of course, just like everyone, I wish we got more minifigures. But the 4 minifigures in this set, I can see why, you know, Krennic hasn't played a big part of this season. I can see why Krennic isn't here. Dedra is a must. Dedra for season 2 is the Cyril Khan of season 1. We got Andor, we got Luthen, which I'm happy we got Cyril and Luthen in that first set because they don't fit in this U-Wing. I would have loved a Mon Mothma, you know. We know how Mon's story ends. They mentioned Gold Leader, Gold Squadron in the last episode, and that ties into the Rebels show. I don't know if anyone pieced that together, but Rebels, we do see then how Mon got brought to Yavin, and that story has been completed in Rebels. So I think that's probably the last of Mon Mothma we're going to see this season. Pure Andor story towards the end here, and no doubt Andor will also wrap up Luthen. I would have loved to see Mon Mothma in this set. I tell you what, that Force Healer in Kenobi's red robes, that would have been a cool minifigure. Enough said about that. I do wonder who the ISB agent could replace, and if they are gonna, if that ISB tactical agent shows up and is knocked straight out or killed straight away, that's going to be disappointing. But I feel like they could have quite a big impact across these 3 episodes. They could live it out. So I'm happy we got the tactical agent. Of course, Andor, K2SO must-haves. B2 Emo. B2 Emo would have been a lovely character to have got in a Lego set at some point. I think, given the price of the ambush on Ferrix and the U-Wing, B2 Emo should have been included in the first set. B2 Emo coming in the advent calendar this year is lovely. Thank you, Lego. We needed that if we weren't going to get a giant brick-built B2 Emo like we're seeing with K2SO later this year. But I've gone and used a spare piece from my dad's Aston Martin we got him for, I think it was Christmas last year. and use that as B2EMO's eyes. There is going to be a different B2EMO coming out later this year. And for December in general, I want to do a mock Ember. It will be very hands-on. I'll have to see how busy I get in December. I'm a busy guy at Christmas, kinda. So I would like to do a little mock Ember where I build a mock with every day of the Advent. I don't know if every day can be a mock. Maybe we'll squeeze in the odd little like set review or that. But I would like to do a mock with all the Advent characters because we get so many. We're finally getting B2EMO exclusive to an Advent calendar. We're finally getting a Rise of Skywalker 3PO exclusive to the Advent. Anzelon exclusive to the Advent until we get them in Mandalorian. I think the Blue BD is the same one as Mando. So that might not be exclusive. But we're getting so many first and exclusives. Nice to see a Gonk as well. We're getting a brand new Gonk. Surprised I haven't built that already. So I would like to do a little month of mocks for the Advent. Maybe get a few of them recorded in advance, maybe. But that's going to be a whole month of fun. And then trying to, as we do every single year, trying to get all of the Christmas sets built before January, because every January there are more sets to buy. We never get it done. There's always sets going into the new year. But you can't rush a good Lego set. With the Funkos, the Tales of the Empire, not to loop back to an old conversation here, but with the Funkos coming out of an old show, I would like to see more of that in Lego. We're getting Kylo's helmet in the ship for 10 years of The Force Awakens, even if they don't say it. Definitely because of the anniversary. And I'd like to see a few more Lego sets based off older materials. We're getting Clone Wars, an original trilogy, but what about Rogue One? Rogue One was so big, it deserves to have its own set of some sort. We wouldn't be getting all the characters back, and of course Lego wouldn't do it. The more characters Lego give us, the less inclined would be to buy the next set. Oh, hold on. Where did you 3 parts come from? Oh, the very first step we missed. But it would be nice to see a few characters we visited. Saw Gerrera popping up in Andor. We could get a little set with Saw Gerrera in. Maybe even Saw and some of his crew, because that alien that we see in Rogue One, the one with the mask, kind of Plo Koon-esque, that is being heavily Star Wars racist. Please excuse me, looks nothing like Plo Koon. But you know the mask that I'm talking about, similar to Cad Pane's mask as well. They look nothing alike, but you know the one that looks like it. There's 2 of them in Andor. So if we got a battle pack with them in, I wouldn't mind picking up 2, dare I say, maybe even more if we see another species down the line. We haven't got Grease in Lego. We haven't got any species for Grease. The Mithril in the UCS Razor Crest, that was lovely to get. But we could get a Grease creature. We've seen them in the Jedi shows. We've seen a Grease species there's one in Young Jedi Adventures, and there's another one in High Republic as well in one of the comics. I think we've seen them in another piece of media. Might have been Outlaws. We've probably seen a few in Outlaws. We might have even seen it in the background of Andor. Andor is the most diverse Star Wars material that isn't animated. The amount of different creatures they've put into Andor is beautiful. And the amount we're getting in Lego is terrible. Give us the alien heads, please. I would take, rather than a CMF pack, I would take Lego doing a little blind bag of alien heads. Like not just the Grease print or, you know, a Duros head print, but genuinely, hello there, welcome to the channel. Space Girl Make Animation Paper. Long names always confuse me, but it would be nice to see a blind bag of alien heads where we get a surprise alien head and then we can build, maybe we do get a torso and legs. I'd have to give something with it, but as a complete blind bag. That would be cool for mock building. Can I build a mock with this random head? I think blind bags in general, I don't think they're as popular because the old CMFs, I was a feeler. I would feel up the bags and check I'm getting the minifigure. I mean, a lot of the time I would purchase the CMF. I'd purchase 2 or 3 of them, then see if I've got them. And later on, when I roped my fiance into the Lego collecting hobby, had to be done, I then started trying to collect the full series. If we got a duplicate, I wouldn't mind, but I was very much started off as a buy it then feel it to guess. With the QR codes, there's none of that feeling. You scan it, yeah, I want that one. It makes it a lot easier, but it does spoil a little bit of the fun. I think if I was a kid now, I wouldn't be into the CMFs purely because I would buy, you know, the dinosaur costumes. I like them. Any space related or anything that I can use for a Star Wars minifigure, I'd pick up. And I'd have a lot more space for minifigures on that top shelf. Don't regret it though. Can't regret a Lego purchase. Every Lego purchase is money well spent for sure. Oh, panels on the engine. Wait, is this an engine? Wait, where's the doors? Are we leaving the doors till last? No, we've got engines. So this must be the start of the engines. Do we have 1, 2, 3, 4 ends? So this is the back end, and then we've got the doors and the front ends. Unless the doors are built with round bricks. Maybe. Maybe they're just to throw us off. One way to find out. To keep on building. Oh. I should make this cookie last. It's not going to last. And I'm also willing to bet, again, I don't trust myself. This ship is not symmetrical whatsoever. But I'd be willing to have a little guess that we're building 2 of these and then 2 of these in the opposite way. I am not risking it. Not for another cookie. Maybe for another cookie. But not for the time it's going to take me to undo it all. I haven't yet. I've just realised I haven't tried to light up the R2 Funko. I don't know if it's possible. But if I remember that, or if I end up watching this stream back, I'll have to remember to do that. I think the build for this is funner than the other one because the other one was a lot of then add this plate, then add this plate. Whereas this, you're building like this engine. This engine was 2 big bricks followed by a slightly smaller brick all on an axle. Whereas building the engines reminds me of the Onyx Cinder. No. Yes. No. Not the Onyx Cinder. What was it that we brick built the engines for? What time is it in the USA right now? I don't know because it's 9:04 here in the UK. Oh. Almost lost that piece. Yeah, I am streaming from the UK. And I think in America, what, if it's 9 o'clock here, is it like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in most parts? I think that's about right. Sounds right, doesn't it? And these are the bottom engines as well. So now the panels are even more confusing. No, look at that. I don't know why I'm showing the big camera. Take a look at this. The engines are covering up the Technic studs. Technic pins, I should say. As for the... I guess I can bring them down, can't I? As for the Maul Mech, there we go. There's the Darth Maul Mech. And here's... yeah, streaming from the UK. I think sometimes the way I say certain words like duty can make it very confusing. Even if you're from the UK, which I know there is about a third of you are, I don't sound like I'm from the UK all the time, but I am. I am born and raised. The only reason I would go to America, no offense, is for Galaxy's Edge. I think that's a must do. All right. We're out of cookie, but we've still got some Lego. So whereabouts are you watching from? Same time zone as France, I believe. Hour ahead. Certain parts of Spain as well. And I only know that because I've been to them both. Otherwise, time zones, numbers I'm good with. Time zones, not as much. Not my strong suit. Oh, and a baseball game. A baseball game would be pretty fun to go to. I've seen so much baseball-themed Star Wars merch. Not just like the baseball tees, you know, the common ones, but so many different Star Wars baseballs being sold. You know, you get Star Wars Funkos. I think BB-8 has a Funko with a baseball bat. Maybe a baseball game at Galaxy's Edge. Would it be a baseball game? What's the Star Wars equivalent? Star Wars got to have a baseball. Got to be something. Oh. Copy that. Oh. There you are. Thought I was going to be missing a piece. But it is not this day. Is this similar? Oh no, it's not. I can see these going up. I could also see these going down. They are going up. Alright, so why have we not used a bigger panel to cover up everything? Why have they only covered up half? And the engines don't even fill the entire engine bit. How weird. Am I coming to London? Or are you going to London? I remember you going on a trip to the Lego store. I haven't been to London's Lego store since I last made a video. I'd love to travel to the Lego stores more, especially for the Builder minifigures. Builder minifigure is reason, and the pad wall. I need to check. There is someone here on YouTube, for the London stores at least, it's Pub Crawler. A play on Pub Crawler. Very popular sport in London, pub crawling. But Pub Crawler does a few of the London stores, and I need to check, see if there's any good bricks on the Pick-a-Brick wall. I won't be going to the London Lego store, but maybe we can organise... Could you imagine organising like a little meet and greet at a London Lego store? That'd be fun. That would be fun. I'm not sure Lego would think it would be fun, but I'm sure there's not going to be a massive crowd. You know, a handful of us hitting up the Builder minifigure station. I do need to have a little look on Bricklink for that dark orange torso, the brick costume. There's a brand new brick costume that I don't have. And the reason I'm looking online is because the Builder minifigure stations don't have any dark orange pieces. I need to get a dark orange head, you know, dark orange legs to go. I think they have dark orange legs, but dark orange hair accessory. I want a full dark orange minifigure. Maybe in the future, we'll organise a little Lego store meet-up. That sounds fun. Especially, I mean, it may release out of the question. It won't be a May release, but maybe like a Lego release day would be quite a fun video to make. Meeting up at a Lego store. The last release, when was the last release day I was at a Lego store? We went, I think it was one of the London ones. It was the same time, because it was quite busy. I was ahead of them in the queue. But it was the same time London Bridge Bricks was there. I think, oh, Emma and Ross, Emmasaurus, they were there. They were there a bit later. I was ahead of like everyone but one person in the queue. That was crazy. Can't remember when that was though. Pieces of this month were insane. You thought you were going to go with one. I don't know if the cups are allowed. I think as long as you can fill a box, and the box restrictions are a bit looser. Don't tell anyone I said this, but you can really pack out a box. Last time I went, that box was not shut in, and they were like, "Oh, I see you filled it up," and they were cool with it. But Andor Season 2, Episode 3, 8 and 9 are the best. I'm still recovering from 8 and 9. I think I'm still going to be recovering 8 and 9 Wednesday when we look at the next. Episode 3 because of the music. Oh, yes, with the into the credits. And 8 because, yeah, the war. 9 because of Andor saving the woman. Andor, what's the woman's name? Oh, what's it? Mothma. Yeah, saving Mothma. I don't know if you heard it a second ago, but that's a good piece. But that storyline with Mothma is then continued in a Rebels arc. I'm sure there will be a video out from someone on your homepage, if you watch a load of YouTube videos, telling you exactly what episode that is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is carried on in Rebels with Gold Squadron and Phoenix crew, the Rebels. So if you did want to follow that and haven't watched Rebels, definitely watch that arc. You don't need to know the characters, but you do get a nice look at the TIE Defender. 20 boxes, you can only bring 10 kilos. 10 kilos of Lego is a lot though, isn't it? Maybe not when you're at the pad wall. You know, can I have that tray? Especially the 2x2 tiles in light bluish grey. I've seen, I think it was 2x2 in dark bluish grey. It was either 2x2 or it was 2x2. 2x4 I got from the road plates. But I've seen dark bluish grey, light bluish grey is even better for Star Wars mocks. Yeah, I think the last 3 episodes of Andor went crazy. And I've also been watching on YouTube, Star Wars have the bonus, I can't remember what they call it, but it's the like behind the scenes of the last couple of each block of episodes 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they'll probably do it for 10, 11, 12 as well. 2x2 tiles are useful everywhere. Oh, come on. There we go. But yeah, the last 3 Andor episodes. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. Yeah, I was also expecting it to happen. And still, that hit hard. Would you be able to, you know, in certain stores you can pick them up in store and then get them to deliver. Do you think Lego would deliver all the way? It's at Stratford. Usually some Lego stores do have the same. Stratford, personally, I think Stratford is the best. That's my Lego store. I know the London store's slightly bigger. I don't think the pick-a-brick wall in the London store is bigger. I don't think Leicester Square's... It might be the same size, come to think of it. It's not smaller. It can't be smaller. Leicester Square was the biggest store in the world until they opened Sydney in Australia, which, you know, is a bit further to go than London for me. But yeah, if you're ever visiting again and you're near Stratford, I'd recommend after doing London. You've got to do London. It's the second biggest Lego store in the world as well. And then if you're ever coming back, have a look at Stratford. That's my Lego store. I don't care how far I have to travel. I always go back to the Stratford one. Oh, you're running away. That's the one that... So the Stratford store is the first Lego store I went to. That's the one my nan used to take me to. And yeah, that's That is my home away from home, the Stratford Lego store. Watch all the films and series besides Rebels. I think if you're enjoying Andor and some of the things, Rebels is a bit broad. It's like Clone Wars. Maybe not everyone that enjoys the prequels enjoys Clone Wars, but I think if you can make it through the first season, you're good with Rebels. Stratford is a train ride out of London. You're probably looking at like half an hour tops, depending on the traffic on the trains. But Stratford itself, you've got Westcliff at Stratford. I think rather than trying to get to Stratford whilst you're doing, you know, other things, go to Leicester Store. Hopefully they've got the Pick-a-Brick wall in there. And then when you come back, there's a giant shopping centre at Stratford. You probably are only interested in the Lego store. That's usually what I go there, Lego store, maybe a few other like clothes shopping and that. But there is a lot more to Stratford. You've also got the London Stadium. Big West Ham fan, so maybe. Yeah, pen it in. If you've got the time, I recommend it. And if not, you can always come back, do it next time. Okay, Lego. Lego have some explaining here. I thought that this engine would be the opposite to this engine. But if you look at it, and if we pop this off... Oh, okay. We're not going to pop this off. It's the same way. We've got the yellow Technic beams on the other side. And the only difference is this edge, and I guess a bit of the middle. Maybe it's different enough to warrant it being separate instructions. I'm not convinced. Lego haven't convinced me. We could get away with it. Not a big soccer fan. The good thing with the London Stadium is if you're a fan of music, they have a few concerts on there. If you're a fan of sports, there's some sports events. I don't think we've hosted baseball yet at the London Stadium because West Ham are still somehow renting the stadium out. Oh, I forgot this. So we're still renting the stadium. It's used for a few other things, mainly us and football. But yeah, music performances, different sports, a lot of athletics and stuff. And that's probably just scratching the surface. Yellow on the bottom. Yellow on the bottom. And the last bag already. We will be taking a look at the Maul-Mech and the Plo Koon ship as well. But first, I have been so excited for this character. K2SO in Lego. I didn't pick him up during the Rogue One releases. Finally getting a figure. We have got baseball. Maybe I should go to a baseball game at the London Stadium just to tick it off the list. Well, hey, there we go. Was it any important baseball game? You could argue all games are important, but you know, was it a final? Was it a competition? I love these I wouldn't show the camera, I haven't enabled it yet. I love these Commando legs. They're the same as the Imperial Commando. Nice thick, same as the B2s actually. They're the B2 legs as well. But look at that arm printing on K2SO. Alright Lego, I'm going to hold you to that. I don't want no excuses. Oh, we can't print on the side of droids. K2SO. Rogue One had it as well. The Rogue One minifigure. And I'm sure we're going to get 2 extra arms. Lovely. Oh, a time lapse of them setting it up. Because the entire pitch is just cubes, isn't it? You can just move it across. Just pop it up. Maybe it's not as easy to move across as Lego, but I wonder if you could repurpose this into a SME, SM33 from Skeleton Crew. Because you could swap out these legs for just regular droid legs. I think that would give the limp of the character. And like I said, we've got extra arms. We don't have an extra torso. And there is the Imperial logo. I suppose you'd have to rub off. And one of the eyes. Is it worth it? But why did we get... Hello there. I like Sonic. Me too. No problem. Thanks for hanging. New York Mets versus Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, so it was America on America? Maybe it was some sort of final and we were like, yep, we'll have it. Nabbed it. Maybe baseball is a bit more popular over here than I think. Why did we get Hyang as a minifigure and we got K2SO as a droid? That makes no sense. Why didn't we get Hyang as a droid? And likewise, we got Grievous as a minifigure in the latest Fortnite update. Why didn't we get K2SO as a minifigure? We already have K2SO as a droid. Slap on some Woody length legs from Toy Story. And I think K2SO would make a pretty cool minifigure to get. Not perfect. It would split up decision on this entire set just based on the one minifigure. Oh, maybe this is why we've got that second hairpiece for Andor. It's not for the ISB Trooper. The hairpiece is actually for K2SO. Rocking that wig. Look at this. Now K2SO is looking fabulous. This is why we got the extra hairpiece. If you lean K2SO back, I think we could even, there you go, stand him up with Cassian Andor's hairpiece. Finally, a K2SO for the same price on Bricklink. This is a K2SO set, isn't it? We get a free U-Wing, which, you know, just throw that aside. It's crazy how much K2SO goes for. Can't forget about the blaster as well. Can we do it without disturbing the hairpiece? Boop. What does... Oh, it weighs it a little. No! Not K2's wig. This is like a whole... Oh, this is like one of those games where you have to balance the pieces before... Is it Buckaroo? Before, like, the horse then flies it all off. There's no stud for the hairpiece, but we can balance it. We can also use a little bit of blue tack. I always have blue tack handy. I've actually got... we'll get to it after building this. Let's build the U-Wing, and then we'll get to everything else. Otherwise, I'll get so distracted. That's a good point. K2's got a blaster. We should give... If he does take down the ISB agent, he can nab the shield and just fully... It would be like when we played Fortnite, we were in a TIE fighter and you can just ram the First Order base and take it all out. So we could... Rogue One, they've played it smart. They've played it smart. The KX droids do show up in... Hello there, shout out Star Wars Battlefront. Yes, of course. Great game. Especially the... first or second one. Favourites. But with Rogue One, the first thing we see of K2SO is don't resist, you're being rescued, you know. Picks up Jyn and just pins her down on the ground. Pretty strong to be able, a droid that thin, to be able to do that to a human. And then Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, I want to say. I don't know if we get any in the first game, but the second game especially, they're charging at you. We do get them in the first game. They're charging at you, batons and everything, and they are almost like mini bosses in that game because of how strong they are. First one, but the new one, the new first one. The new first one, I think the OG second one for the campaign, but in terms of the actual mechanics of the game, in terms of the game mechanics, I will say the first new one had better mechanics than the second one, but I think the second one had more characters. The first one was very... I wouldn't even say it's the sequel characters. I think the being able to fly ships as well as characters. Gameplay with Boba's too good, but characters are better in the OG second one. I've played recently a little bit of the OG. Recently, it was like a year ago. That's not recent. But I played the OG second one because that's still up and running. I also saw that there was servers for... It was one of the other games. It was one of the spin-off, like the little Squadron-esque games. I can't remember which one that is, but one of those are still running as well. Which is nice to see there are still servers being created. Don't know if they were official or if they were modded servers, but They were fun to go back and play because I remember the second game. Don't really remember the first. The first one with prequel content would have been the best, eh? Can you add me on Fortnite? I don't think you can. Being a Star Wars creator, I think it straight up just privates everything. But I am working on trying to get a public game going on Fortnite. Let's get some solid streams going first. And then I've seen there's a whole list of you that want to play. We might have to start an entire lobby and trying to get... Because I mostly play solos and duos. Squads, I like to run off. That's why I play solos and duos. I do like to run off, and in squads, if I feel like Han and Chewie. You know, in A New Hope, Han and Chewie, when they're running down the hallway and then there's like a million troopers. That's me in Fortnite. That is me. So if we can get a lobby of solos and duos, then definitely. I have to post the code up. The same goes with some other games as well. We're starting a solo run of Repo, but maybe I can try and open that out. I think we're only allowed 6 players on there. But I can try and open that up at a future date. Try and get some group lobbies going. Right, pointing up and down. Thank you. I do think... Oh, lighting up Lego bricks episode 2 when? After the video that can't be named. That didn't sound very good. Am I missing a brick? Wait, where's the 2x2? Did I forget to put a brick in here? I can't get this one off. Need a custom key in Fortnite. I'll have to look into that. I don't really know much about it. I could barely turn off the copyright audio for the stream. No, the brick's in here. Oh, what's up with this then? Oh, have I forgotten? No. I might have pushed it out. Yeah, I pushed it out. There we go. What about a war recreation? I guess all Star Wars builds are war recreation. I did get an offer for, I think it was like a tank, something like that. Yeah, won't check the video that day. There shouldn't be any fire involved. I do want to test with one of my spare 3PO keyrings. I do want to test trying to remove the pin. I've been recommended to use fire, but we'll have to see. Not allowed V-Bucks because you're broke. Free skins are pretty cool. On the PlayStation, free skins are pretty cool. I got a load of the early, like, what's the subscription service on PlayStation? I got a load of those blue styled skins. They got me through quite some time, they. But I like the Star Wars season skins. The big one being Grievous. We are gonna, the next time we play Fortnite, I think the skin comes out Thursday, Friday. So we'll be playing it then. Yeah, don't buy skins. Epic Games with Fortnite, so many people pay for stuff on Fortnite that they give out so much free stuff. PlayStation Plus, thank you, that's the one. Yeah, the PlayStation Plus skins I've got a few of from early days, but even that, I switched over to playing on PC purely because we didn't have to pay for a subscription service. It saves so much money a month. 1, 2... Oh yeah, this... Yeah. The brick. Okie dokes. It's worth it if you're using it. I just weren't using it too often. We've got no money. We've spent it all on Lego. We're just as broke. There we go. To be fair, I'll be honest, I haven't bought a battle pass yet. Because so I've had 3 battle passes gifted. The first one was from my partner's dad. Then I think my brother gifted one. Then my partner gifted me one. I haven't had to buy a single battle pass. I have been spoilt here. I don't think I've spent a penny on Fortnite. At least not yet. Just wait until May 4th next year. And then I don't have enough for it. Let's fit Andor in. The tiny, look, the tiny little cockpit. It's tiny, tiny little cockpit. Yeah, they do. They have a load of updates. I quite liking the Star Wars one at the minute. They've gone all out for that. How many minifigures do I have? Too many. That's not a real answer. You can never have too many. But I have... So, why aren't you going in? Oh. Oh, because you go back. There we go. So minifigures, I think it's about 100 on this wall of Clone Troopers. This case up here has 500. I can't remember if it was just over or just under. And then we have another 500. It's just up, but we have another 500 minifigures on top. And they're the popular, you know, Star Wars. All my Star Wars minifigures are out for the most part. We've got some droids. We've got some Space CMF minifigures. All my Marvel minifigures are on a display stand. And then an extra couple hundred City minifigures, I think, from the last couple of decades. So, a lot of minifigures. Oh, thank you. Happy to see that you're enjoying these streams. Yeah, sometimes things can be rough on the outside. You just need a fun little Lego stream to take off any of the worries. Why is Nightbot from the Poland Ball stream? We do have a Nightbot running, yes. Every couple of minutes. I haven't seen Nightbot pop up for a while now. I don't know what we're building here. Oh, the doors! Of course. I had a mind blank for a second. But we're building this just like the doors of the Mando set. If any of you have built, you'll know what I mean when I show you like this. If any of you have built the attack on Mandalore from the latest Mando season, what was it called? Paz and Moff Gideon battle? Something like that. We've got the massive hole in the middle, and then we're plating it up. What are we plating it up with? These go here. Oh, this is a little MIDI scowl. Hello there, welcome back, Rex. This is a little MIDI scowl invisible hand there. Oh, local to the UK. Nice. Keep your eye out. I'm not making any promises, but I have a video idea that's going to give me too many minifigures. Too many Clone Trooper minifigures. So I've brought this up on stream before. This is something I've had planned for a while, and I don't know exactly when this is going to come into fruition, but if you would like to purchase some figures, keep your eye out on the channel. There may be an opportunity in the next couple of months, you know. It might not be too soon, but I'm working on it. Who's left? Who's left in terms of figures? We've got all 4 figures here. And this is door number 1. Oh, nice little window. There you go. You can see K2SO rocking that wig just through the window. Those eyes are creepy. That's some Freddy Fazbear eyes right there. Did we need to build 2 of these? No, just 1. And this goes on the left-hand side. Not as good as a sliding door. Oh, and very firm to put in. No, it looks better than the sliding door. But if we could get a little mechanism there. The problem with the sliding door is the sliding door was vertical, and this is at that angle. What we really need is a mix of the both of them But for a Lego set, I think the biggest problem is landing gear. The U-Wing's got to have some landing gear. And if we... Let me just grab my headphones. If we had some landing gear, the slope would point down and we'd have a ramp to get in the U-Wing. That works so well for ships. How accurate is it? It's not accurate because it wouldn't be that tall and we'd also be running over the window. But I think if there was some sort of feet on the bottom of it, even just 1 or 2 plates on the bottom of it, that would be cool. Just so that we've got this door then as a ramp to get in. There is quite a big step in the U-Wing to get in and out, so that would work. Make the U-Wing a bit more accessible. Look at us. Don't have Fortnite. There are Fortnite Lego sets, so none of them in the UK, but we do have a few more coming out. They've just revealed a little campfire set. Picking that one up. It's a battle pack. They've revealed a Fortnite battle pack and it looks cool. I'm picking it up for Peely. Peely, the llama, the campfire, and the wood. There's like a table saw. Definitely picking it up for that. No figures. No figures today, no. Oh, well, happy birthday in advance, but if I give you figures for your birthday, then next week it's someone else's birthday, and that's a lot of minifigures to be given away. That's how to empty my collection pretty quick. You might get figures for your birthday. You never know. That's always the best time to get some Lego sets, when you don't have to pay for them. This collection, I would like to point out, this collection that I've got here looks lovely. I have built it over, oh, way to make me feel old, 20 years. Let's say 20 years. We'll round up a little bit. 20 years this has been building. So why I don't have the Rogue One minifigures, I don't know. This is the exact same that I'm going to check this before I embarrass myself, but this is what we've just built. Step by step. Have I gone backwards? No. So we've got 8 steps and we've got 4 to 8 steps. We start off with those 2 plates, then 2x2s, then 2x4s, then the 2x8s, then the 2 balls, then the 4 and the 2 3s. Yeah, the windows. Lego have just made us build the same door twice in different instruction steps that are identical, just to put it on the other side of the ship. Are Lego underestimating the power of 8-year-olds? 8-year-olds can build 2 and then equip them in separate steps. Did we need that extra page? Okay, we're talking about going down from 134 to 133 pages. 132, because it's double-sided. Is there a new Jango Slave one? There will be. I mean, technically it's almost your birthday. Happy 9-month early birthday, but no one's beating that. So at 10,000 subscribers, we're going to be building the UCS Jango. But fear not, because later this year, Lego are releasing a playset model. It's looking to be the same size as the playset Boba Fett one that came with Mando, and I think it was a Gamorrean and Carbonite. So it should have the same figures. I would love to see, because it's a playset, and we're meant to be getting a Kaminoan as well with that. So we're getting a bonus figure, which means I own the UCS Starship, and I'll also be picking up the playset. Definitely worth it. I had to have the big UCS Slave one. But the Boba Fett and Jango are likely to be the same. We've seen, for the most part, at least for the first few years, one minifigure being exclusive to UCS sets. Could this be the one that breaks the chain? Could we see identical minifigures in the playset? Perhaps. Perhaps we could. Yeah, the playset hasn't been released. I think the playset's releasing in August. If I thought May was a lot of money, August is a lot worse. Better. August is a lot better. Sorry, Lego. August is a lot better. Didn't mean to say worse. It's worse for my bank account because we have 200-pound sets. We've got the turbo tank. We've also got, oh, what else do we have? There's 2 big sets. We've got the Django playset with the Kaminoan, hopefully a different one to Kenobi Starfighter. The list goes on. We must have 10 different Star Wars sets coming out this summer wave. So yeah, start saving. If there's nothing you really want from May 4th, don't pick anything up. Save till August, because oh, that is definitely building up. Right, there we go. A nice little interior window. It's a shame we're looking through to a black plate. Could they not fit the minifigures sitting down here? And then we've got the heads poking up. Surely we're going to have to modify this quite a bit. But I'm liking the bottom of this. Looks so much better than the first U-wing. We'll bring it out in just a second. And then the wings open. We can fit the minifigures in. I'm still surprised with the little storage container on the inside. 2 plates and a tile on top? Really? Why didn't we get one of the little 2x2 like Imperial crates? Maybe that would work with this scene that the U-wing's in. But we didn't get even the unmarked crate. We just got 2 plates and a tile, which, yeah, I don't know. House savings will be reduced for sure. Don't you know it? Yeah, that August wave is going to hurt even more than this UCS set. I didn't think I'd be saying that. Spending more on that. And then look at the back. So, out of all these sets, we're building Ahsoka's Eater this time next week. Might be the Saturday set. We might build it a little earlier. We've then got the ARC 170, which we have built. The U-wing's just been built. Chopper's on the wish list for sure. We're probably not going to get Grogu, but we are building that massive Grogu, which if you did miss the start of the stream, you can go watch it back, or I can show you now. This is the work in progress for a giant upscaled Grogu and Pram. This is the minifigure scale version here. This one's going to be the size of the giant Captain Rex. So you've got that to look out for. But before we get into taking a look at the U-wing, so what will I be modifying on it? The cockpit, the interior of here, I want to knock through that plate on top and get it so that Andor, rather than laying down in the U-wing, this isn't meant to be a nice comfortable ride for Andor. He's meant to be riding into battle. I want to get Andor sat at the front and knock through the entire base of this U-wing. And what that will allow is a little bit more headroom in here. It is, as our suspicions did expect, we can't get seats back to back in here. We can only fit 4 minifigures in the interior here. Perhaps we could build this out. If we were able to have the door, you know, rock side to side, we might be able to get more minifigures. But I don't think this is too big a problem for the U-wing. So we're going to be getting rid of the bed on the interior here. Does K2 fit? I think there's just enough space to fit K2SO on the inside. Not studded down. No? Does the blaster? There you go. It does fit. K2SO just about fits with the tub. At the minute, 2 minifigures, unacceptable. So, I'm going to be moving Cassian down, maybe trying to get K2SO on the interior, and then we can also fit 4 more minifigures down the back here. I think if Cassian sits up front, Cassian will be sat about there. Is there arm room? We might free up a little bit of arm room for Cassian. I don't think we'll be able to fit Cassian and K2 next to each other, but at least we can fit 5 minifigures in here. And yeah, I think that's the big modification. I'm all right with the engines. I thought this looked silly. The contrast from thick to thin and not that little step in the middle. I'm actually all right with it, but you can make quite a simple modification using the engines, or the engine blocks rather, from the Onyx Cinder. We've got some 3x3s, which are a brick thick. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I think we get like 8 on the Onyx Cinder, but I also have them on Jedi Bob's Starfighter. And then for this modification, we might as well get it done now. We're also going to need 4 of the plates because they do stand out just a little bit. We're going to work with grey because the engines are grey. It makes sense to stick with grey. And we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And then the rest can just stand there. And what we're going to be doing, let's get a little close up of this so you can see exactly what I'm doing. If you do want to make these modifications at home, I'm going to be popping off this long bit of the engine. Easier said than done. Of course it comes with the entire engine. And then removing 2 of the bricks. Again, easier said than done. Oh, I wish I'd done this before putting this all together. And it's about a brick thick. So to keep the size of the engines, we don't want to modify that. We're going to want 3 plates per engine and this brick from the Onyx Cinder. There we go. This little 3x3 round brick. I am indeed live. And then we've got 1 plate on the bottom here of this giant brick. So then we can stack up the 3x3 and another 2x2. There we go. And then on top of that, you know, equip the rest of the engines, push those down all the way in. And that just helps, if we can get this thing in, that just helps to make it look a bit more like the engines, you know, give it that little step down at the back. Actually, Lego's engines look terrible. I think this looks amazing. Lego's engines do not look terrible, but they don't look as good as this. So we're going to be doing this to all 4 engines. And again, this would have been easier to do if this was done straight away. We know our lesson for next time. If any of you haven't built the U-Wing yet, definitely do this before or whilst you're building it. You can't do it before you build it, but as you're building it, if you've got these pieces around, give it a go because it's a pain to do once you've got it built. Let's use the desk here. Hammer's not going to help us, but you've seen the piece. Where do I live so you can give me a guess? I am not going to foul that easily. I am not revealing my location. I am going to look at opening like a PO box. I'm not giving away my actual address, my government address. I do not trust that. Nothing to do with any of you. I'm sure you're all lovely people. I do not trust that on the internet. And that includes, you know, Instagram DMs. I don't trust giving that information out. The only people that know that are Lego. Lego's got my address and they're not sharing it either. Could you imagine just asking Lego, oh, where does so-and-so live? Oh, not good. Yes, don't be doing that. That's a quick way. That's how to get your speedrun banned off Lego. And then last engine. Oh, go on. You can come with. I wish that they had a bit more hold of the engine so the whole thing didn't pop off. What city? I couldn't answer that if I wanted to. City and county, I always get confused. I am very grateful Google autofill my address. What's my real name? My real name is genuinely Mouldy. That is the name I use when speaking to, you know, friends, family. That bit's real. Right. Final engine. Let's go. Boop. And now we've got to piece the whole jigsaw back together. I do think the engines, I didn't have a problem with them when I started doing this. Now I've seen what we could have gotten. I prefer this. This looks a lot more like the old engines. Let me get them. Do we have any spare pieces I should put away? Gives you a lot of these round 2x2 bricks as well. All right, don't need these. They're spare pieces. Can't believe we got that hairpiece. Where's that come from? But now it's time for the U-Wing off. Meow. Yeah, the doors are so fragile on this. I don't know if you can hear it popping, but that is surname Moldy, first name Master. Had you in the first half. Here we go. Let's not destroy. Minifigures don't fit. And the mech. What have we done? So we are missing the giant cockpit piece from the back. Yeah, try not to share your own personal information as well. Names are fine, but don't be dropping, you know, credit cards and 500. I'm not being paid to visit for birthdays because before you know it, I've got more money than sense. These look drastically different. Maybe it's the camera angle and this one's just off to the right. But there you go. That does look a lot wider. Let's stand them on top. Look at the size difference of it. So it's 2 to 4 studs, is it? We've got in the cockpit, there's 2 studs wider. This isn't clipped. There we go. The cockpit is 2 studs wider in the old one, and the wings are 1 stud wider. So it's quite wider, but in terms of length, we've got about 4 studs less. So it's 4 studs smaller in every direction, but it's proportionally a lot better size. The wings are a bit, they're about 75% as thin as the original, despite the cockpit not shrinking too much. Big fan of these wedges on the side, and I think the best change actually comes with the engines. The old engines, they were old. I like these brick built engines. Unless there's a reason to use these Technic panels, I don't want to see them. I don't. They're meant to be white. They look a bit better on the original set. I have color swapped a few of them, and it's smart the way they've got that little dagger, little hammer tool in the top here. But I like the engines on the new one better. I don't think the engines are too different in size. The engines are actually longer on the newer one. Bigger engines. Well, they don't look it, do they? And then we've got the ramp, which would be nice if we got some landing gear. I might have to slap, you know, 2 1x4 plates or maybe some 1x1 elements on the bottom of this, just so we have some landing gear. We didn't have it in the original one either, but the big take that some of you might prefer from the original U-Wing is going to be the fact that those doors slide open. Jedi or Sith? Ooh, dark side has cookies. Gotta go with the dark side. Can you see my fiance? If you want to go back and scroll through a few older streams, yes, she has appeared multiple times on the channel. We've also got a playlist. Check out over on the playlist tab, reacting to Andor and Tals. So if you're interested in that, go give that a watch. I think I'd have to go with Sif. Hello there, Bad Wrench. Will I mod the doors? I might mod the doors, because I'm a fan of this door action. I did mod the gunship doors as well, so we had 2 doors on that. But Technic isn't the way. I don't see, without complicating it too much, you could definitely do this with Technic, but I think the angle of this U-Wing door, I like it too much to replace with the moving door. For a Lego ship, especially something like a mock, if you did want to display this, you can always pop off the double ball joints. They should exist. I've used them in mocks because they make it so much stronger, but they're so hard to pull apart. If you did want to modify this for a mock, you can always clip the door back here and have that open, but having it on some sort of rail system that will slide along, yeah, it isn't great. It isn't great. So, oh, now I've got it stuck. Let's pop this out. You could clip it in with these 2x4 panels. Accidentally reported. Yeah, how'd you do that? That's all right. As long as none of you have got anything dodgy going on in your accounts, reporting should not mean anything. But I quite like these doors. I think landing gear. Let me get some round plates. What are we thinking? Maybe a 1x2 maybe? Some 1x2 plates. Dark bluish grey. There we go. Riz, thanks. Not sure my fiance will appreciate it, but thank you. I guess. Odd comment. Hello there. Five First Army. I thought that said Five Fist Army then. There we go. So for landing gear, I think all we need is we need a strong base. So I think I'm going to go with 4 of these 1x2 plates. Just like that. And then that should give us enough room on top to then clip the, there you go. And the ramp, let's load up the close cam. The gunships on the table are taking up quite a bit of space, aren't they? Get you out of here. But as you can see, there's a little ramp down now. I think that looks better than before. I don't think the landing gear takes away too much from this. It's an easy modification to make. Okay, we haven't modified the door much here. Why do I have 2 of the same streams on? One of the streams, as long as YouTube hasn't wrecked it, should be a vertical stream. So it shows up in shorts, and quite a few people prefer to watch it over on shorts. So, you know, maybe they're doing another task, get it up on their phone. I found myself watching a load of vertical streams. I do also try to stream on Twitch. Not very possible because Twitch has been kicking us out the last couple of days. She's very pretty. Yes, she is. Very pretty. Any advice with girls? You'll get there. You'll get there. Honestly, wasn't a big ladies man and stuck to my Lego. Stick to your Lego and you'll work it out eventually. When it's ready, it'll be ready. We can open the wings on this as well. There we go. Wingspan feels pretty good. Gotta be shorter than this one because the wings are not longer. So you're looking at 4 studs. There we go. Oh, try not to stab myself with it. There we go. So the wings, let's line that up. Yeah, it's pretty decent. This is like if you took the new one and scaled it up. Resolution is not there. The quality of it goes down, but the size goes bigger. And it feels a lot heavier. I think it's the Technic on the inside. There's not really any, the biggest extent of Technic we've got with this new U-Wing is connecting the engines. The engines are brick built. The ship is brick built. There's no Technic on the inside. Is there any Technic on the inside? No, absolutely no Technic on the inside. We've got a little space down here. Maybe we can fit K2SO down here. Do I plan on, kids? As far as money going into Lego, I'm sat here building a UCS set, so no, not planning kids yet. How would I rate both? Out of 10, I'll explain it in a second. Out of 10, personal preference, the original U-Wing gets a 6. A solid 6, nowhere below a 6. Maybe if I had the right colours and minifigures, it'll push like a 6.57. The new U-Wing, it looks so good. You know what this looks like? This looks like a Blevins Bricks remodeling. And I am aware that he's working on a U-Wing. I'm not a fan of the U-Wing. I like a lot of the models there. The U-Wing, I don't know, maybe it's because we've got this from Lego and it is pretty hard to beat, which is why I haven't mocked my own one up. I don't think I could beat this first try. It would take me a while, and by then we've probably got the U-Wing in another show. I think this gets a solid 8. You know, there's a few improvements. Engines, the fact that we did that straight away doesn't get a 10. Strips the 10 straight away. But I think it's a solid 8. Throw in a few seats, fix that cockpit. That's one piece deducted. Engines, another point deduction. Perfect. This side, perfect. The door mechanism. The door mechanism might deduct an extra point for you. I fit some landing gear on it. Maybe that should be another point deduction. I think I'm going to stick with an 8 and a 6. I think they're solid. But I do prefer the new one. It's shocking how much I prefer it. I like the fact we've got that little mechanism that pushes the cockpit up on both of them. The old one had it both sides. The new one only has it on the left-hand side. And that helps as well if you are swooshing around. Say we've got multiple U-wings here. You've got this U-wing flying in and you need to get the minifigure out of this, but your hand's filled, or you're a part of LAN. You've got the camera in one hand and you're trying to get the cockpit out and you don't realize you can use your finger to pull it up. You push it through and there you go, you can free the minifigure. Killing younglings? What have I missed? Killing younglings, we only do that for charity here on the channel. Get a phase 1 clone trooper, make it all dirty, then put it as a rebel. Funny you say that. Where oh where? The thing with having so many clones on this clone wall is it's hard to find the one that you want. Here we go. Take a look at this. This is a custom Filoni clones. You've heard me go on about Filoni clones quite a bit. And this clone trooper is sort of Geonosis-fied. It's covered in a lot of mud. Would this work? Would this work as a phase 1 rebel? Maybe this is like some old armor that rebels have found, or this is just a phase 1 clone that has been rediscovered. Some of the droids were on their own little relay networks. Maybe this clone's been hiding out amongst like a droid barrack that never got powered down and ended up joining the rebellion. But I definitely prefer the new U-wing. It's a lot better. It's surprising how much better it is because of those little things like the engines. Again, this one modification definitely raises it from an 8 to a 9. And if they fix the cockpit, the fact that Andor's chilling. Why is Andor laying down? We've got the Empire to take down. No time for rests. It's odd they didn't knock that through for such a small ship. And the fact that the U-wing is one entire build. It's a bit similar to the cockpit of the Mantis. The Mantis in a £60 set. Impossible. You've got this massive fin you'd have to account for. Maybe like a £70, £80 set would be awesome. Maybe that's something that can be built to a similar scale as this. Similar length with that massive fin in the middle. But I do like this brand new U-wing, and it will be replacing this older U-wing on the shelf behind me. There wasn't a lot of play features, but something they shared right at the top was the flick fire system. We've got some flick fires here. I'm going to regret putting these in because I'm going to end up losing them. But the flick fire goes in and then we lock the button up the top. It's just 4 tiles, 4 studs worth of tiles that pop up. You press them in and the blaster pops out the front. I like that mechanism. And how they have it on this is a bit more secure than the last one. Fairly similar though. Did I see the alternate build of the U-wing as the Stinger Mantis? I haven't. I've seen the Razor Crest Interleufen ship, one of the many sets we could get. But yeah, I haven't seen the Mantis. Maybe that's something we'll have to explore here on the channel in the future. U-wing, final thoughts. Great set. If you want K2SO, it's worth picking up this bonus ship. K2SO, Lego Star Wars K2SO with this awesome giant side build. It's UCS Lamp all over again. I'm happy I picked up this set day one. It's worth the full price. Even better if you can get this in a discount. And yeah, few modifications. Keep an eye out. I will be coming back to fix this cockpit at some point. Spontaneously, I'll just pop up with the U-wing modified. And I don't think I'll be sharing instructions, but I'll definitely let you know how I do it. Now, or you know what? Why are we putting it over there? Let's put it straight onto the shelf. Maybe if I am planning on building some sort of Andor mock in the future, maybe some custom minifigures we spoke about earlier, then we can put those and display them with. But we've taken a look at Plo Koon's microfighter. This is going to be short and sweet. Should have come with a droid body. I've seen the argument for a cape as well. Do we think Plo Koon needs a cape? I think we can do without the cape. Maybe the cape makes it a bit hard to fit the minifigure in, but the fact we've got stud shooters on this mini build, and take a look, the wings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so on, pieces for each wing. Held on by the Technic hinges, not the bar ones, so they lock at different positions. Well, they actually only lock at the position they're at, and you could probably stand it up on the ends of the wing. The body of it has these nice smooth curves at the front. These are exclusive right now to, I think, the Red Bull F1 car. That's a pretty smart reuse. They've been used in all the F1 cars. The dark blue are exclusive to the F1 car. Red Bull has a sticker over it as well. Technically the first time we're getting them unstickered, but we have seen the pieces before. If you are trying to mock it out before you're getting it, am I getting the body of the droid? How much? How much do we think the body is worth for Plo Koon's Astromech? Because I have, well, I bet it's a lot more than I would be able to guess. I have got some decals, and if you're into custom decaling, I'm selling these for 70 something p on my website, but I've got a decal for the front and a decal for the back. It's not perfect. It's on a white torso. You don't notice this when the head is on, but this is on an R2-D2 torso that I've got spare. R2-D2, I've got more than Luke's. I've got more than Vader. Mandalorian, I have more R2-D2s than I have Mandalorian, Vaders and Luke's averaged out, which is just the same as all of them individually. But getting this body for the droid, and then you can put the head on, there you go. The head is also a decal. This set hasn't come out yet, so this decal of the head is available alongside the torso, front and back, to match R2-D2. Can't believe we're not getting this minifigure in the advent calendar. Ahsoka's droid is cool, all right, and it is nice. A few of you have said one to display with a ship, one to display with the minifigure collection, I guess. But why didn't we get Plo Koon's droid's torso in the advent? We got Ahsoka's in the ship. We could have got Plo Koon's in the advent alongside the exclusive 3PO, alongside the exclusive Anzellan. We've got the exclusive B2EMO, the exclusive Gonk, of course. Two exclusive battle droids, 2 of them, and these decals. Even if you don't have a spare R2-D2, these decals are much more, a lot cheaper to buy, to apply yourself than picking up the body of Plo Koon's droid. You don't have to be that careful with it. The reason I pulled it off by the stud, I don't like touching the decals. I am worried that I'm going to scratch them or mark them. They're perfectly fine. There should be a little space underneath, look, to clip Plo's droid. There we go. We can get Plo Koon's droid just underneath the ship. And that is canonically how droids are stored, for sure. But that is Plo Koon's Delta. Saber clip at the front, no room at the back. That's snazzy. And I think for a lot of people, look, I'm probably not going to buy this set day one, because I do think $12.99 is a little steep for a microfighter that doesn't come with the body of the droid in it. But I'm definitely going to be picking this up as soon as it's in a sale. If, like, Argos here in the UK usually have these on 2 for 20s, that would be great to pick up with the Maul mech. The head. Plo Koon's head is the #1 element from this set. Lego have cooked with that headpiece. They have gone crazy with it. Likewise, they've done pretty well with Maul's mech. Maul's mech's a little too tall to be showing off here. This isn't a perfect Maul's mech. The torso doesn't have the printed piece and is in a different colour. It's black, not red. Don't know why Lego went with red. Black would have looked better, but we're not here to critique Lego too much on it. I think the Maul mech's pretty cool. Definitely the main grab is for that Maul minifigure. No pupils. I'm liking the look for Maul. And similar torso and legs to the old Clone Wars version, which is what I have here. It's not the same. It's actually less detailed, because this Clone Wars version of Maul has, on the torso, you see the middle left button, just at the tip of my finger, there is a button that is white. It is there, isn't it? Yeah. These silver 6 silver squares in the middle of Maul's belt, that middle left one is white. Lego have forgotten that on the new minifigure, and even less detailing. Even less detailing on a new Maul minifigure. At least we have the lack of pupils, which I quite like, and Lego have redone the face as well. So we get a bit more detail in terms of Maul's expression. They have bunched up the nose and the mouth. I'm hoping this is just on early land copies and Maul's head does stretch the full face of the minifigure. But by the looks of it, Maul's nose and mouth have been scrunched up at the bottom and don't take up as much space as the head. That does worry me a little bit, but given Plo Koon's beautiful face, I think we can forgive Lego on this one. The torso is missing that white square, but we do have pretty much the same legs. I couldn't find a difference. Tell me if you can see any difference, but I tried spotting the difference and it doesn't exist. If it's not in our archives, it doesn't exist. So the mech in all is a Star Wars mech. You know, it's not as good as Ninjago, Monkey Kid, or Marvel. Marvel, I feel like, are leaning more towards the Star Wars mechs. It's built up to be a bit more humanoid than mech. I don't like that. I like mechs feeling a bit robotic-y, robot-like, and a little thinner, especially when it comes to Maul's robot legs. They could have gone a bit more with that. We're getting the spiky boots like we're getting for Boba, which are more toes in this case than the spikes on the boots. I don't think I'll be picking up Maul's mech or Plo Koon's day one. The battle pack, on the other hand, definitely looking to pick up 2 of those close to day one. Maybe give it a month just in case there's early deals, because we are May 10th right now as of this stream, and there are May 1st releases, mainly the Star Wars logo and the MIDI scale ships, but there are May 1st releases going on sale already, a week and a half later, a week after May 4th. When are we getting Star Wars Dragons? Or the same day they come out with like a Mortis God set. I don't think we'll get Dragons. Zillo Beast. I would love a Zillo Beast. We might have to modify a little Zillo Beast. Build that out of one of the dragons. But Maul's mech is overall good. You know, we've got all the bits of the mech. I feel like they've accessorized. If we get a Star Wars Dragon, I would like to see some of this level of greebling. Completely inconsistent, but it looks awesome for a Star Wars build. Especially a dragon with all the scales. A lot of the Chinese New Year and some of the creator sets have quite repetitive building. I would prefer to get something like this for a dragon. That would be awesome. Maybe we could get... You know Ninjago get the dragons? We could get a Luke Skywalker themed dragon. Could you imagine that? That'd be hilarious. But Maul's mech is solid. We get 2 of the lightsaber elements. I'm a big fan of these lightsaber elements, beside the fact that they are polluted with bubbles. We've got 1 bubble, 2 bubble, 3 bubble, 4 bubble, 5 bubble, 6 bubble, 7 bubble, 8 bubble. Is that a bubble? No. Is this? Yeah, this... No, that's not a bubble, that's a mold mark. 7 bubbles on the lightsabers. 2 of them. 3.5 bubbles each. That's even worse than the little sabers. But they are massive. So maybe Lego could go with a frosted hilt, like they are going for the minifigures. That might be good. No problem. Thanks for hanging. Yeah, we will be going live Monday with a repo stream, but then back again Tuesday with Lego. And chances are we'll be streaming a bit more because I'm being able to get so much out and so much built. We're going to be building an alternate build on Tuesday. So hopefully I'll be able to see you then. And we'll also be, when I can, streaming a little earlier as well. We might mix it up a few days. Maul's mech, I think compared to some of the other mechs, let's bring back Luke. I recently picked up Luke Skywalker and I do want to rebuild the other 3 mechs. Take a look at all 5 of them because we got Vader, Boba and a Trooper, which were pretty solid mechs, very much like Maul. And then we got an X-Wing, which I've added R2 to the top. Can't believe Lego forgot about R2. But together, could we have gotten... I think, right, if we weren't going to get Plo's droid's body, we should have swapped these around. Maul could have come in, maybe not a Scimitar micro, maybe a Gar Saxon micro. Something like that would be really cool. See ya. And then we could have got a Plo Koon mech. Jedi robes, maybe got like a giant material cape. I'm asking for a lot here. Maybe even a side build of a droid. Oh, we've got to build that. A mech for the droid? That could be awesome. Forcing me to go to the pad wall. Don't threaten me with a good time. That sounds like fun. But a Plo Koon and R7 mech, and then a Maul microfighter. That sounds like it could work. Especially given the fact I don't think we'll get any more Starfighter mechs. Plo Koon's mech would be good if it was styled like the Delta. Nice little triangular body, arms coming out with the stud shooters for the ship, because I know Luke's X-Wing mech did come with a lightsaber and blaster like the minifigure. If the arm was a wing of the X-Wing, they could put two wings of the X-Wing together for the arm. Maybe an arm is a wing and the legs are a wing. There's some potential there. I'll come back to you with that idea. But I can't wait for the June releases. We might not be picking any up. We're still going to go have a little look, see if we can find them. See if we can see the backs of the boxes. And also, Mattel's Brick Shop, all the sets for 2025 have been released. It's all cars. I'm not a big fan of those, but September 1st is the release date in Smiths. They seem to be a Smiths in-store exclusive. They're also online on Amazon. I think they're opening up a store. So we will be having a look at them. They're later on in the year. That's September 1st. Can we get the end of May? Can we get the rest of May? Ahsoka's Eater, Dark Falcon, potentially the UCS Slave One, and the all-important gift with purchase. I think we can get about doing that. Anyway, we've been going for just over 3 hours. I don't think there's anything else we can do. There is one more thing. Earlier today, I got a very special order from Lego. Very special order. I'm making it sound a bit more than it is. I got this guy. More importantly, I got a brand new head for a B1 battle droid that the head of this figure had broke, not the first time. And I actually ordered a spare head last time when this happened. There might be a video on the channel. So we have two broken battle droid heads here, but it's not over. We can regenerate these just like the Doctor using a little bit of blue tack. If any of my family is watching this, they are cracking up laughing because I love me a bit of blue tack. Anything needs done around the house, put a bit of blue tack on it, it'll be fine for the next few weeks. Actually, I've just tried to pin something to the wall over there and it's already started popping off. I only did that earlier, but what you can do is grab a bit of blue tack. This droid doesn't even have a complete clip. Look at that. The droid is missing half of the clip. Whack a bit of blue tack on it. And then we've got a little droid body here, arms and legs. I've been getting a few extra droid torsos. I have like 5 extra torsos, not including the ones here with these broken parts. And then we can blue tack the droid head on. No movement allowed. But the same thing also works. I have one set of broken legs as well. And the same thing works with the legs. Little bit of blue tack in the middle. Squish that battle droid down, make sure you don't knock off the head like I've just done, and there we go. We have another battle droid looking like something from Tales of the Underworld when they go to that separatist hideout, but it works. And if you don't have any more legs, I don't know why I've got so many spare torsos, I can't answer that, but if you don't have any more spare legs, come on, you stick down. What you can do is grab some cheaper legs like the IG legs from the Assassin droids. Really, whatever you've got hanging around, clip those, and we've got a battle droid with some fancy trousers. Look at Mr. Snazzy over here with those silver pants. That is looking definitely standing out. Maybe these are like B2 styled legs. And now, using only one new Lego battle droid head and a bit of blue tack, one head turned into 3. Kind of had 3 laying around. We've got 3 new battle droids to add to the collection. The only problem is I don't have space for one battle droid on my stand. I've just filled up my droid display with all my R2s, Astromechs, battle droids and everything else. I think I've also whacked the guy from the Techno Union, Wat Tambor, on there, so I don't have space for any of these. I'm going to have to figure that around, but that will be done another day. Thank you all for tuning in. Lovely conversations as always. Until next time, may the bricks be with you always.